evening. Good freaking evening. It's live stream number 3. And I know what you're all thinking. You still got that bloody hat on. No, that's not what you're thinking. You're thinking, how am I feeling? Because I have had, well, you might be thinking that. Or you might just be thinking, shut up and get on with it. But I'm hoping that you're thinking, how is he feeling? So, I'm prepared this week. I'm so prepared. You thought I was asleep. I have been so tired this afternoon. Olja, English tea. Freshly brewed. Straight from the pot. So, how have I been feeling? This week has been very different. Very, very different. I felt well better. Some good English for you. I have felt way better this week. And the nerves about doing this have only really kicked in the last, hour, I would say. I've been sat on the sofa, watching a bit of YouTube, listening to some music, psyching myself up, Eye of the Tiger, that kind of crap. Not that. But thinking I do need to put my glasses on to read the comments. Oh my god, I read that comment without my glasses on. I've been fooling you all along. So how have I been feeling? I've been feeling alright, apart from the last hour. And this podcast episode is supposed to be all about the scary symptoms and that. I want people to call in, and there's a reason for it. Because everywhere I go, I check on Facebook often, and I see on Twitter that people are always talking about symptoms, sensations, and they're worried about them. And they feel like they're probably the only person that has them. So many times I've seen posts, the question, and it's been mentioned so many times, does anybody else get this? So I figured that if we can get people to share their symptoms, as many as possible, let's try and get through the callers today. Let's aim for the sky and go for 10. Reaching new limits. At least 10 callers I want today, talking about symptoms, and they can share more than one or whatever. I just want the scariest symptoms that people fear the most, and they think they're the only people. And this isn't I'm not a GP, I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to say, yeah, that's anxiety. But you know what I'm talking about. Let's share some symptoms, and let's get them all out there. And then when anybody goes to post on Facebook, or Twitter, or Instagram, or Pinterest, or anything else, LinkedIn, instead of saying, does anybody else get this? Or if they do say that, say, go and watch BeUnited, episode 3, the legend that is Billy Whiz and his crew of commenters. Watch the podcast, and you'll see, yes, somebody else does get this. Loads of people get this. It's pretty simple, isn't it? This is just like a reference. The idea behind this episode is to be a reference for everybody that ever wants to say, does anybody else get this? It's pretty simple. So yeah. One thing that I never do when we do these streams is tell people to subscribe to the frickin' channel. Subscribe and share. Share this video. If you're on YouTube now, which you are because you're watching this, and if you're not, then you didn't hear me say that anyway, press the share button. If people know that you've got anxiety, you're not scared about sharing that you've got anxiety, click share and share the damn stream wherever. And let's see if we can reach new heights with the viewers. That'd be cool. So, tea. I reckon people are worried about calling in because they've already called in before. Maybe so it's they don't want to call in because they think people are going to get fed up with them calling in. Think about how I feel because I'm putting my mug on the screen every week. So if people are getting fed up of you for talking for 15 minutes, they must be hating me. So yeah, I wasn't so nervous this week. Symptoms. For the last hour, I've been feeling the jelly legs thing, man. I would say that is probably the most freaky thing that I've experienced in the last hour. I stood and made myself a drink, and I could just feel that my legs felt like jelly. It was horrible. But I didn't, I'm not going to do anything about it, because I know what it is. I know that it's nerves. I know, because it happens every week. I can feel like my heart racing before I go live. Because I sit here when I start the music thing. I changed the music this week. Anybody notice that? I changed the music. And I was sitting here just thinking, here we go again. Another roller coaster. Standing in the queue. Legs gone to jelly. Legs have. Not my leg has. Because that would have been just one. I can't read that comment. So my legs went to jelly. My heart was racing. Probably the main symptom for me, the one that always catches me out, is the dizziness. Like wherever I go, if I leave the house, if I'm on foot, it's that disorientated feeling. But I'm not going through all my frickin' symptoms. Somebody's going to have to call. Otherwise, I'm going to call you. Somebody call. The number's on screen. If you're in America... Oh, I haven't done my usual spiel, have I? If you're in America... It's 011 apparently, 44-121-318-6180. I don't know if anybody's trying. I don't even know if I've got Skype open, to be honest. Yes, I have. So why is nobody calling yet? If you're in the UK, 0121-318-6180. Gemma's turned her phone off just in case she gets a call. We have a caller. Bear with me. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Who's this?
It's Steph.
Oh, it's you. I didn't recognise you then.
How come?
I don't know, I only had one earphone on. How are you? How are you?
I'm alright, thanks. You feeling better then, yeah?
Yeah, it's been way less stressful this week. Way
Good.
less stressful.
It's because you're getting used to it, that's why.
I think so. I felt a bit better. I felt better in myself as well this week. So
yeah. Good.
It's all good.
Good.
So yeah,
Glad to hear it.
what's the symptom?
What isn't the symptom? I sent you a message earlier, didn't I? Saying I've had palpitations every day this week. To the point where it's made me feel dizzy from stressing about it. Even though, I think on the chat last week I said I've had 2 different types of heart tests.
Yeah.
And both tests have come back completely normal. There's nothing wrong with me. So they know for definite that it's anxiety.
Yeah.
But ever since I've had the test results back from that, I have palpitations every day.
Every
day? Really weird.
Every day?
Yeah, every day. Every day.
So does some days you can just not... You don't react to it, or does it trigger
every day?
Yeah,
some days I'm just like, nah, fuck it.
You
but
swore
then other
first
days
today. You swore before me.
I thought I'd get in there first to make you feel better. Wow. But no, yeah, some days I'm just like, I can't even be bothered to be worrying about this. And then yesterday and today I've just been stressing about it. So even though I know that medically there's nothing wrong with me.
So does that lead to more sensations then? Because you start freaking out about that? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, the jelly legs. The dizziness that gets me, every time I try and explain it to a doctor, I say it's literally a split second where you feel like you're going to fall off the earth and then it goes again.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't
But because it feels like you're going to fall off the earth for a second, so then you get pins and needles like you've had an electric shock or something. And then that just makes it 10 times worse. The dizziness goes and it goes and it's like, ha.
Yeah.
Made you have bad symptoms.
It is just a blast.
And then it goes again.
Yeah, that's a weird one, that is. I get that quite often.
It is, isn't it?
You just get that spike of dizziness. So how do you explain
it? That's how I explain it.
Right,
like you're going to fall off the earth.
Yeah, that's pretty...
For a split second.
Yeah. Have you ever fallen off the earth because of it?
No.
No, you haven't? Oh, there we go.
No.
We've solved that one then.
No. I know. But yeah, when I try and explain it to people who have never experienced it, they look at me like I'm an idiot. But yeah.
Yeah. It's madness.
But, I know. But any other symptom, probably every single person on the chat has had a symptom related to anxiety that they haven't thought was an anxiety symptom.
Yeah.
Like, you get really bad stomach ache or someone said their face went numb, my hands go numb sometimes.
Yeah.
There's just any symptom.
Keep reeling them off.
Can be related.
Because then nobody else has got... basically, the idea behind this is so... Like I was saying, does anybody else get this? Steph is reeling them off and saying, yes, I get this, I get that, I get that. And that's the idea. It's because people concentrate. Like, I've done videos on my channel And my symptoms video is the most hit video. I've got like 10 times over compared to the others, because people just love researching symptoms. So this will stop that. That's the plan.
Yeah, well, exactly. But yeah, loads, absolutely loads. The worst one for me is like an impending sense of doom.
Yeah, I
get
that.
Like where you feel like you're gonna crawl up in a ball and die.
Yeah, but
that's the worst one.
There's no rationalising it, because it's just there.
No.
There's no reason for it either, but you can't talk yourself out of that. It's weird.
I know, and the other thing is, James, my boyfriend, he knows when I'm about to have a panic attack. He says my face goes, like, changes.
Right.
He says, 1 minute my face looks normal. Great, thanks very much. And then
the
next thing...
For 1 minute, my face looks normal.
Yeah, I know, yeah. And then he said it's like a shutter that's come down from my forehead all the way down to my face, and my face goes grey. He knows that something's happening then.
It's probably because you switch from being conscious of the outside world, completely internalised in it, because that's what happens. You just go into yourself. Exactly. Your eyes probably go a bit blank, and then they start rolling in the back of your head. You start convulsing.
And that's what gets me when people say that mental health and panic attacks and stuff, you can't see it. Yeah. You can.
I suppose if you know
what you're looking for, you can.
Yeah, because
you really can.
My son can tell if I'm feeling dodgy. Like he can
like
see
little things that you do.
Yeah. It's probably because I'm swearing at him and throwing things across the room. He says, no, I'm joking. I don't do that.
No.
Oh dear.
So, loads. Too many to count. Too many to put on here, but way too many.
Well, that's okay, because other callers are going to share theirs as well. I want more callers today. That's the plan.
Well, I'm going to get off the line then and let other people call in, but
shoo.
It's great talking to you anyway.
Thank you for calling, mate. Good to speak to you.
All right, then.
Yeah, speak to you in a bit.
See you later. Bye.
Ta-ra. Yes. One call down. English person. I am going to keep track of the English. The Europeans versus the Americans. Can we get an Australian caller in today? That'd be cool. I wonder what time it is in Australia right now. I have no idea. I know that the clocks went back in the United States at the weekend. So the people that I talk to in the US are now 5 hours behind. So it's like 4 o'clock. So you should be getting off work soon. That's why the English call in first, because we're all at home watching this, not EastEnders. Whereas our friends across the ocean are at work still. So call me. The number's on screen. You should know it by now. You should have written it down. I'm waiting for somebody to mention that I didn't dress as a mermaid this week as well, but that's okay. That's okay. So yeah. We had some symptoms. Somebody else call, please. As I'm just going to sit here silent, staring at the screen. That was pretty good timing. We have a caller. Hello.
Hey.
Who's this?
It's Natalie.
Hello, Natalie. We've never spoke before.
Hey. We have years ago from Panic Station days.
Oh, really? Years and years ago then? Jesus.
Very, very, very much so.
How are you?
Yes. Good. I tried 2 different numbers. I'm in the U.S., obviously.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you, of course I do.
Yeah, I just happened to see you guys going live, so I figured you guys are talking about symptoms.
Yeah, it's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Okay.
Come on then. Share them. Share me
you
some
know I have a list. For me, it's been consistent, pretty much 25 plus years of the same symptoms. It's the derealization, depersonalization. It's probably the most disturbing. It used to be that the other ones led up to that, and that wouldn't really get there until a full-blown panic attack. But now I think they actually come on. Just even that weird feeling, especially if you're outside as an agoraphobic. Everything kind of looks weird. You sort of get that like fluorescent lighting look. Like it's a different feeling when you're outside as opposed to being inside. And it just doesn't feel real. Or I don't think you're truly like disassociating. I think it's just you start thinking you are and then you are.
Yeah. So, it just escalates.
But it just, you notice it. Like I think Drew a long time ago made such a really good point. He was driving in the car and he said like he was fine until like a cloud changed the lighting of the sun.
Yeah, just the slightest
And
changes.
I really was like, that's it. I'm like, it's so true. Like just something changes in your environment and then we're so aware of it. We're so hypersensitive to anything that changes our vision or seems brighter or louder and assume something's weird or strange about it. So I definitely noticed that. And obviously the breathing, the feeling like you just can't take in enough air, so you try to breathe more, and the hyperventilation that comes with that to me is...
Yeah, and the more you concentrate on it, the more foreign it feels to be in control of your own breath, don't it?
And then it's worse, because the more you try to control anything, the more out of control you really become. But it seems almost like unnatural to try not to breathe, because it's hard not to tell yourself, I'm not getting enough air, even though you are.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are, for me, the biggest things. I mean, there's some fluky ones that happen. I'll definitely get that dizzy feeling that, you call them jelly legs. I think it's just that weak feeling.
Yeah,
I guess
jelly
you're probably...
legs,
Yeah, just weak. Like, I don't feel stable. Like, I feel like if I don't hold on to something, I'll collapse or fall. And I probably have a couple of times, but I think it's just the sense of needing to actually do it or feel like to touch the ground. But you tend not to do it in public. Like, you realize you're walking a little weird because you're trying
I've had that
to, like,
before. Where you
grip the ground.
You feel like you can't walk properly anymore. It's horrible.
Yeah. Like you're just actually shaking, but it's normal. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of Anturvity and just definitely trying to remind myself like how normal these reactions are in our body, but in that moment, it's hard.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really hard. So
it certainly is. And if it weren't hard, we wouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, it isn't. And yeah, I think the symptoms are the key to the whole thing. I think
it's about accepting that they are part of the anxiety response, isn't it? That's the key. Yeah. Because once you can accept that it's down to that, then you can sort of stop. Well, that's the idea: is to stop thinking about them, stop thinking that you're in some kind of danger. But it's easy to say it. But I've had this issue for like 14 years, and I still freak out when I feel that.
Yeah, and it depending, where you are. I think, maybe you're different. I think for somebody who's agoraphobic, if they're home, they may not respond as strongly as they would if they were out in public than when they're home.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're in public, of course, that's a bigger issue. But I mean, I agree. It absolutely comes down to the sensations. It's more about what we're feeling and, just how disturbing it is. And it's frustrating because it's so simple. It's not easy, but it's so simple. It just comes down to these things that we've done over and over and over again. And it's never going to get any worse than it's ever been.
That's it.
And yet nobody's convinced or they would be better. So it's just, this time it's going to be really bad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting here now, I'll be fully honest, and I'm feeling freaky. I have been feeling freaky for the last 10 minutes. For some reason. I don't freaking know. There you go.
And that's where your mind will start to go, well, did I eat today? Did I have caffeine? Did I,
prepared.
What did I do?
Yeah. I'm well prepared for this.
You're looking for a reason. Yep. You're like, well, why?
I know that I'm sitting here fidgeting.
Well, because we're talking about it too, and you're hearing all these triggers, I have to assume that's going to make you start thinking about it.
Put the trigger warning.
I mean, well, I think anybody. I mean, yeah, I assumed. I mean, I'm not shy at all, and I don't mind getting on, but I have to admit, I was like, my chest feels kind of tight. I feel a little nervous talking about it because it's not a comfortable thing to talk about, and as soon as you're talking about it, you're thinking about it, and we all know what happens when we think about it.
That's the point.
So,
why am I putting myself through this?
Because you're helping everybody else, because we have to talk about it. We have to, and it's part of the desensitization.
Yeah.
We have to say it. We have to say dizzy, wobbly legs. So what? Wobbly legs. You know what I mean? Jelly legs, jelly. We have to get numb to the word of it, numb to the thought of it. Just, yeah, whatever. Had it a million times. So what? But, without belittling everybody's feelings, including yours and myself, it's a huge so what. It's the effect of our life, and, it sucks, but the big picture is still truly so what.
It is,
it's
because we're still here.
We're all still here, and we've all been dying for however many years, or, about to pass out, or about to be sick, or about to collapse, or about to, we almost this, and this almost happened, and we felt like she was going to fall off the end of the earth, and pretty sure nothing's happened to anyone. And yet, we still believe it. It's still a what if.
It is. It's always what ifs.
What if? What if this one's different? What if this time, and just even before, you were like, well, I don't know, I'm feeling off, and I don't know why, so that's unsettling. If you had 2 cups of coffee, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
I know what this is for, so, it makes sense to you, and you could kind of put it away. But when you don't know, it's like, well, what's going on with me?
That's exactly what I'm doing.
And then, yeah. I mean, I can't diagnose, but I'm just saying, obviously we're talking about it. Help diagnose me. But it's hard, and I think it's the most complicated anxiety disorder. And I've been studying it throughout my whole master's, and it is still, even the professors and people I speak to are like, yeah, it's a killer, because it's that complicated, and the symptoms, the cycle of avoidance and what it does to you just makes it so much worse. But unfortunately, it works. Yes. It works to avoid.
Yeah, it does.
It works. It works indefinitely, but at what price?
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. That's what I do. I always avoid. Well, this is the only thing that I've not avoided yet, because I've done it now 3 weeks on the trot.
Yeah.
And this, I was saying at the start that I was feeling better about it this week, but at the back of my mind, I was thinking to myself before I went live, I'm feeling better about it, but I know that I'm going to feel worse when I'm on it, because I've said that I feel better starting it. So that's likely why I'm feeling like this now, because I already told myself that I was going to feel weird today, just because I didn't feel weird before I started.
Oh, okay. So you think
I self-sabotage.
Think you can self-sabotage, yeah. Well, you could turn that around again, I guess. You could try. Or you could stay on until you feel better.
Oh, I'm going to.
Until you're just done.
Yeah. I ain't going anywhere. Well, I might.
Well, eventually. You could just keep talking, and I'm sure, I don't know how many are watching.
We've got 34 viewers. That's pretty good.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
It is pretty good.
It's reasonable.
And on YouTube, that's scary to go live.
It is very scary.
It's definitely scary. At least I can hide behind a phone, but it's scary, and you don't know what audience you're going to capture. I mean, if everybody just has anxiety, then it's kind of like talking to your buddies, because everybody's just maybe scared to call, but relating on some level. But you don't know, this is just everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody could find a live video that's popped up and be like, who are these wackos?
Just me, sitting here sweating gallons. Don't worry about it. It's a good weight loss program. The stress, the sweat. Oh dear.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't do, which a lot of people say they sweat. I actually kind of wish I would sweat because I think it's supposed to cool your body down. I just get very warm and I feel flushed in the face, but I don't sweat. Even if I'm working out or doing something, I don't typically sweat, which is very strange. Like, I don't get very sweaty. And I think it's supposed to cool you down. So I just stay really warm.
Yeah.
Like, really hot. And I think that's probably not as comfortable. But then I have to think, yeah, but I think, well, I can't see because I'm trying not to look at the screen because the lag will throw me off.
Delay.
Yeah, and I don't want to read the chat or anything. So, except I just read that somebody has their anxiety is too bad to call.
I just seen that, yeah.
Shame.
Somebody said, can I see this? And yes, I can.
Yes.
And breathe.
Yeah, I try.
See, in a way, it's good that people can see that I'm sitting here and I'm freaking out, but hopefully...
Yeah, I just looked and saw a big sigh.
It'll pass.
I don't know, it's probably a minute ago. But
Yeah. And when it passes, you're going to see, unless I'm freaking out till the end, but I very much doubt that's going to happen. But if it passes, you will see that you don't have to run. Unless I have to run at some point, and then you'll see that I have to freaking run.
And you'll feel so much better. Probably exhausted, too, because I still think it's really normal. That's another thing, is that even when you handle it really well, and you go out, and you push yourself, and you do whatever you got to do, right? And you don't run, and you get through it, you come home and a part of you is like on a high because you're like, oh my God, I did this. I'm cured. I'm amazing, right? But then your body is also exhausted.
And
like you get depleted, like you could just pass out. You're like, why am I so weak and tired? Like,
and then you start freaking out.
Is there something wrong with me?
Yeah.
Right. You'll start freaking out. And why am I so tense? And why does my arms ache or my shoulders ache? And it took me forever to realize, like, do you realize how much like energy it took you to get through your day, to get through this, live stream or whatever it is that you're doing that you're not avoiding. And then physically, like, you'll notice, kind of like working out the next day, you'll feel which muscles worked.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I know what I was doing. I could see it. It's the same thing after facing anxiety. Like, I will get in the car and I will grip with my feet, like the floor of the car.
Yeah.
I will grip, the steering wheel with my arms, and my shoulders will tense up and everything will be tense. I'll come home, I'll be exhausted, and then all of a sudden that night I'm like, why are my arms and shoulders killing me? Why are my legs aching so much? And then it took me forever to realize, because I was tense and using all of these muscles and like my brain this whole time, it's so normal to feel exhausted.
Yeah.
And physically and emotionally, because it is a workout. Even if you face it, and everybody's like, well, the next day I just felt tired and achy. It's like, well, yeah, because you did all of that
That's it.
the night before.
Yeah. And you forget.
And you forget, because we don't even realize that in the moment you don't realize what you're tensing.
Yeah.
And what you're not.
Yeah. Like
after
this, I will be exhausted. I'm already tired. I felt really tired today for some reason. So I don't know.
But it's a good tired, though. It's like it's a workout. Think of it as, your workout, and be like, you know what, I earned it. I'm exhausted. I put in a lot. And, like, that's when you just, like, care for yourself. And you're like, you know what, I could still do things when I'm tired.
Yeah.
Fine. It's not like I'm going to, like, you went through the newborn stage with your kids, so it's not like you don't know what it's like to be sleep deprived and tired and still able to walk around. So you're like, I could still do things when I'm tired. And I know why I'm tired, but you could also, like, care for yourself. Like, that's what I've been trying to do, is just care for myself through the feelings and through going through it, in balance.
Yeah.
Don't baby myself, but, like, care through it and just say, it's normal. I'm exhausted. I'm, run down. Like, it's a lot to deal with. If people had to walk around with this all the time, like, they would understand why we all look the way we look, you know, or at least look the way we think we look to others, and how it's hard to deal every day when the next wave comes at you. You're like, oh, come on. When
That's
it's a lot.
what I'm doing right now. It's starting to piss me off.
It's hard, and it's frustrating, and but unfortunately the waves that are coming at us are the ones that we're bringing on.
Yep.
There's nobody's throwing waves at us. The ocean isn't against us.
No,
Like,
it's all self-inflicted.
it's just, yeah, we're just like, bring it on, you know, and so it is. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you and I think most people, I don't want to say everybody, you know, most people I think get it. You know, they know it's just a matter of being reminded, and I think that's why what you're doing is really good. You know, I think you're there to help remind people and bring people together, because it's what we all know, but in the moment, it's so hard to remember and just be like, hey, remember, like, this is what we're all going through, and this is why this is happening to you. And you're like, duh, I knew that, but I guess I needed to hear it again. Because I think people forget.
Yeah, definitely. I do.
Yeah. I do all the time. I have to stop and be like, oh, that's right, I'm doing this. Or, oh, I'm responding and I'm running. And, like, why am I running down the steps? Because for some reason downstairs feels better than upstairs right now.
Yeah,
like, exactly. There's more air downstairs. Like, explain that to me. Why is that normal? No. And I'm like, wait, no.
Yeah, that's what
I'm like,
I'm just sitting here. I keep sitting here and I'm thinking I should just switch the screen off and just disappear. But then I'm thinking, like, it's still going to be me. I'm still going to be sitting here. I'm still going to be in this same freaking physical, sweaty mess. So what's the point? I may as well just sit here and deal with it. Jesus.
Well, sadly, it's the only way out. I mean, no. I mean, if you shut it off and ran away with you're not going to do that. I know you're not going to do that.
You're damn right. I'm not going to do that.
No. For years that I've known you, you're not that person. But if you were to do that, yeah, you would feel significantly less anxious pretty quick. Probably go get yourself cool water, do something, and take a breath, and within moments feel a huge weight lifted and feel normal, and then right after that beat yourself up.
That's the point. That's why I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
Make yourself feel weak and just say, you know what, anxiety, you're right. You're right. And make it a bigger monster than it is. Exactly. You know, you just got to stay in the ring and be like, I'm here. You're not going to knock me out. I'm here, and I'm going to be here to the end, and I'm still going to be sitting here. I might be a sweaty mess, but you know what? Like, if that's all it is, okay.
Yes. It's all good.
Like, so be it. I'll sweat even more so. Look how hard I'm working. I'm sweating.
Somebody just said, just go get a napkin. I ain't getting a napkin.
I say just show the bullets. Let them drip. Say, look what I'm doing. I'm fighting.
Let's just have it.
This is what it is. This is raw anxiety at its best. Like, and I think it's, you know, a lot of people don't have that bravery to be like, look at me, I'm feeling anxious. And in front of all you, I'm just going to sit here and be anxious. I'm not going to be pompous and act like I'm better than you, and I'm going to preach to you. We all have seen gurus, you know, who are like sit there with their big doctor chair, and they're like, this is what anxiety is. And it's like, click.
That's it.
Like, people want to see somebody like you.
I'll show you what anxiety is.
Yeah, and they bring out their graphs.
I'll show you what it is.
Their PowerPoints.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I think it's so much more relatable to see a real human being and to see them sigh and to see them fidget and to see them taking a few, you know, breaths of air and, you know, just be a little sweaty. Like, that's what people want to see. They want to see themselves.
Exactly.
Like, that's relatable.
Well, here I am.
And there you are. The sweaty mess that we can all relate to.
I'm allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say that. Jesus.
I'm not even looking at the screen. In all fairness.
You just triggered me.
I'm not even looking at the screen, because every time I do, it's a lag over here because it's 4:37 here in New York. I don't know what time
It's
you guys are.
9:38 right now. 9:38.
So 5 hours. Okay. You guys didn't change.
Yeah, we changed.
Did you guys?
Yeah, we changed a
Oh,
few
you
weeks
did.
ago.
Okay, 'cause you're always 5. Yeah.
It was 4. It was 4 for a couple of weeks, but you changed at the weekend.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing. Don't even get me started on that topic.
Yeah.
Just a man-made idea about how much daytime and nighttime we should have.
I don't care.
It's another thing for me. I like the nighttime more, and I don't know, I'll put that out there, because I think I'm the odd man out on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been putting the way that, because I've been feeling a bit down for a few weeks, I've been putting it down to maybe it being darker earlier. So, you are weird.
I am. I really am weird.
I already know.
And I think I'm weird, and I'm not triggered. For me, the anxiety, though, is triggered by the brightness.
Yeah. I get it from the heat,
I do
but not so much the brightness, but I get it in the heat.
Yeah, to me, it's too much stimulation. Like, I don't like when things are bright. It's kind of like the dim lighting in the house, and if I go out, if it's darker, I don't feel like everybody can see me, and it's just too much life.
Yeah.
I just want to live
Somebody's already
like a
commented
vampire.
Dark is a trigger, so you are the odd one out.
But I'm always, I always have, like, people who are, like, in the nighttime texting me or calling me, like, I'm anxious, it's nighttime, and I'm like, yeah, I'm totally relaxed right now.
Yeah.
I was, like, triggered all day, but now that the sun went down, I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed. Like, I think I'm the odd man with that. I haven't found anybody who has that.
Well, nobody's
for me,
agreeing with you
deal.
in the comments, so...
Nobody is?
Nobody.
Well, as far as like seasonal affective disorder, like that's for depression. Like that I get, I can understand being depressing, but I'm just talking specifically for anxiety.
Oh, everybody's agreeing with you now? Jesus Christ, look. As soon as I said it, literally the last 3 comments.
No, I'm kidding.
Just because they're going against me. That's what it is.
But I think it's more relaxing. Like, I just looked over at the screen. I'm trying not to look at your face because you're talking when I'm talking. Like, it's very...
I'm chilling out a bit.
But your room is so bright right now.
Yeah.
I keep everything really low light. Like, I'm like, I just noticed you have a Himalayan... It looks like a Himalayan salt lamp.
It's never switched on. Yeah, it's not even plugged in. It's just for effect, It makes me look...
Okay. I have 2 of them. I have to always have them on. I always have to have, like, dim lights. I love to me, that's very relaxing. Almost like if you go to a spa and, they give that low light sort of chill vibe. Like, once, like, I don't even realize that I'm much better with it now. I used to be very bad years and years ago. I was so triggered by things like that if the light even went on, like, I would start panicking if it was bright, like fully bright. I didn't like that. For some reason, it was too triggering. But now I'll notice it. Like, if everything's really bright and family's over or just the kids and they've got the Xbox going and the lights up, like, to, like, supermarket bright, for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whoa, I could feel it. It's like, I don't know, it's a sensory thing. It's too much. There's just something chill about low lighting and
I get that. Yeah, I can see that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
I hate the dark. It makes me... Yeah, see, that's what I feel like I see most of, is people don't like the darkness. It's almost like a childhood thing. Like, I get it, but I just never... I don't know what that is. I think there's probably a couple, but for most, I think I'm just... Sometimes we're the strange one out, which is fine. I think we all have our weird things, and that's another thing I think people have to understand is for as many as we'll all have together and be like, we all have that, there's going to be some things that we're like, I don't have that.
Nobody else mentioned that. That's going to, that's... I don't want that. That's why people need to call.
And I'm sure there's...
People need to call and just tell me everything. The weirdest things I want to know. The weirdest things.
Oh, I don't want to trigger. See, that's the thing is, I find like it's one of those
trigger.
like.
I want to trigger people. Don't not call in because you think I'm going to trigger.
Okay.
Trigger the shit out
numbness
of me.
in the face.
Yeah.
The number in the face when your face just you were like in the shower and like all of a sudden parts of your body feel numb.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm always like, is it the temperature? Is it too hot? Like, I literally will sit there trying to figure it. I'll be like trying to get the soap out of my hair, and all of a sudden, as I'm rubbing my head, I'm thinking, I feel like I don't feel half my face. Like, and I'll start panicking about it. I'm like, is it the temperature, or is it like that I'm anxious because of the entrapment, like that I thinking I'm trapped, and you're really not. Grab a towel and jump out any second. But like, I definitely feel like the numbness is a thing. Obviously, all this goes back to like circulatory. Like, we all know that, like, what's really happening.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But it's when you don't feel anxious or you don't think you are anxious, and it just happens. That is the scariest times.
Yeah, yeah.
If I'm anxious and it happens, then it's bothersome, but at least I can make sense of it. Like, you know why you're feeling the way you're feeling, so anything that comes up is going to be old familiar.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's the way it is. But if you were like absolutely fine and it happened, you're like, what? Why is it doing that?
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
But the numbness, I think, is weird. The nausea, or just that feeling like you want to gag.
Yeah, yeah.
That empty stomach, like you should eat but you can't eat.
Yeah, nothing you're saying to me. I've experienced all this shit before. There's a fly flying around.
Oh, yeah.
It's really doing my head in. Jesus.
I don't think
Christ.
that there's anything I could say that you probably
it's been
wouldn't
long
relate
enough,
to at this point. I think you pretty much.
I think I've
and
just
that's
had about
like the whole
50
story,
different
though.
symptoms.
But I think you've had all 50. You know what I mean? Like, I think we pretty much all have gone as far as our body will go. It's kind of like the whole point is like, this is it. Like, there's no mystery. There's nothing you haven't unlocked yet except for the way out. But, like, other than that, you've felt it all, done it all, and some days were worse than others, and some symptoms were, you know, whatever, stronger on one attack and not the other. But, like, for the most part, like, there's really nothing that we haven't already felt. Like, I haven't had, like, a new kind of symptom.
Yeah, yeah. No, I seem to have a thing where I rotate. So I'll get something, it'll play in my mind, it'll pass. But then the next time I go through an episode, it'll be something different. And I forgot how to deal with this one. So then I have to relearn or just remember, oh yeah, it will pass. This too will pass.
It is, and I definitely get that. Or sometimes it's more breathing. Yeah. It's more just a hyperventilating, dizzy, very breathing associated, and other times it's just that weird feeling that, like you say, the wobbly legs and the jelly legs, and it's just like a weak, overall fainty, like out of it spacey feeling, but you're breathing fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're like, I guess I'm okay, and then it's just you feel whatever it is, and sometimes it's just all in my stomach, and I just feel sick, and I'm just like, well, am I sick? And then sometimes it's so strong I can't tell what's real and what's not.
But it always passes.
Everything's anxiety. But no matter what it is, it passes. Like, it doesn't matter. I guess it's a smorgasbord of symptoms, and sometimes it's going to be focused on this, and sometimes it's going to be focused on that, depending where you're tensing and what you're doing. It's a different strain of an attack, but you've had all of them.
That's it.
And you've probably had the worst of them all to the max.
I could have probably just done this video on my own and just sat here and said, I feel sweaty now, I'm feeling dizzy now. I'm being upstaged by a fly. I'm chasing a fly around in this video, and it's really doing me head in. But it's taking my mind off how I feel, to be fair. So maybe it's God. God has sent. We're going religious for 10 minutes. God has sent a fly to take my mind. Oh God.
That stuff has happened. I think it was during Halloween. I went out. My kids wanted to go out, and I've been struggling a lot lately. I had a bunch of setbacks. So I was having one of those, I can't go anywhere. And my kids wanted to go out, and we were dropping off some stuff at, like, neighbors' houses and stuff, and candies and whatever. And we decided to go for just a mini drive. I'm talking, like, 5-block radius, but that was huge. And just look at the different decorations. And I was just the whole time thinking, what if I freak in front of my kids? And what if I, I don't know, I've seen you in videos and you've always been super open in front of your family and your children, which
they have no choice
I think
but
is
to
great.
listen.
I don't know. For some reason, I always hide it.
Yeah.
And I walk away and I say, well, I have a headache, and I'll go into the bath. Like, I'm not going to get into my whole reasoning, but for me, it's very scary to do it in front of them. And it's not a preference or, that you're bad and I'm good. It's just my own childhood issues I don't want to put onto them.
Yeah, of course.
So, but anyway, I was out and I was like, oh, God, like, they're having so much fun and they're all excited in the back seat. This is like Halloween, and I have like a 10 and 6-year-old. This is, this is amazing for them, this is their life. And I'm freaking out, and I'm like, okay, and I was just about to say, like, oh, maybe we should go back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be in this car anymore. And then something, I don't remember even what it was, but something happened where there was, like, everybody freaked out because, like, one house was lit up or had this thing or something happened.
Yeah.
And it totally distracted me. Like, I was like, what? And, like, my whole attention shifted to this thing. And then it just, by the time I went back to, like, what was my thought, it was gone. Like, sometimes distractions are, like, the best thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's why. Sometimes it's all you need to reboot. It's to just stop. And all it did is stop a thought. It didn't take away anything, quote, wrong with you. It just stopped your thinking. Yeah. Because that's what's wrong.
Well, you would think that being live on YouTube would be enough of a distraction. Apparently not.
Well, I'm staring at a wall holding a phone. So I don't feel like I'm live on YouTube. I also don't hear everybody, and I'm not looking
turn my
at
monitor
the screen.
off. If I turn my monitor off, I'd probably be fine. But I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's different for you, I guess, being, looking at the chat and staring and seeing your face and knowing your face is being seen by 32?
31.
Well, does that include yourself? I don't know.
No, I'm not watching it on YouTube.
Okay, so 31, because I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Because it throws me off with the lag, but yeah, I mean, it's
nerve-wracking.
That, I guess, would be more triggering, I guess.
Yeah.
I can do it. I mean, I have a channel and I do stuff, but it's not anxiety stuff, so I can get away with it not being... Because I don't think you have social phobia or, like, a fear in general. Just talking, I think you'd be fine if you were hanging out with 30 people, Maybe? I don't know. That was presumptuous.
Yeah.
But you're sitting here alone, even though we're all with you. You're the only one with your face showing, and talking about anxiety. So I can't imagine how you would sit there relaxed.
Dino's just made a good point. Why don't we all agree to close our eyes? And then no one's looking at me. Do it.
Everybody. But nobody could read the chat, though.
That's okay. We'll go radio have, silence in the chat.
Hangouts where everybody should be up and at least be able to, like, shut off their cameras, maybe, if they don't.
Either that or everybody's on camera. We'll do a special episode. Well, I realised the other day that it's my birthday on the 6th of December, which is a frickin' Thursday. So I'm expecting gifts and video calls, and I think somebody else should do the stream that day. So if anybody wants to offer.
I think you should grab Drew in there.
Yeah, he called the first and second week. But the first week it went a bit wrong.
I missed that?
You need to go back and watch it.
Yeah, maybe I missed it.
Yeah.
I tend to miss a lot on YouTube, which is, I always see something after the fact.
That's okay.
I think I saw one of yours. I typed something in, but I think you just ignored it.
Ew, I did.
I don't even know what I said. Yeah, but I don't even know if you knew my user chat. I think I just said, like, oh, hey, he's live, and, like, that was it.
Yeah, I probably ignored
That's, like, all I said.
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
You're like, yeah, obviously. But, my eyes are shut. Somebody's speaking.
I'm getting a call right now. I can see that there is a call on screen.
Okay, grab your call.
I'm going to grab the call. I'm going to cut you off.
All right. No problem.
But it's cool
Take
to
care,
hear from
everybody,
you.
and
Yeah,
thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll try to check in. Okay.
Yeah, call again. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Okay, bye.
Ta-ra. There is another call. Sorry, I just went silent. Hello? Hello? Who's this?
Hello?
Who's this?
Hi there.
Hello.
It's Mary.
Hello, Mary. Turn your YouTube down, because I can hear it.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Do as you're told.
Is that better?
That's much better. Where are you from, Mary? I heard us.
I'm from Scotland.
I was just going to see a wee bonny Scotland there. Sorry. That's lame.
Yeah, I've recently experienced what I think is anxiety
Okay.
symptoms and over the past few weeks, which started off with a twitch on my face, and then that went away after about 3 days, and then a few weeks later I developed like tingling all over my body, but in different parts. So 1 minute it would be on my forehead, and then on my leg, and just all over. And I also had like butterflies in my stomach all the time.
Right.
And there was a tense situation happening, but I've always managed to address that. But even although outwardly I appeared calm, inwardly I was very anxious.
Yeah.
And then recently, the past few days, I've had like a tremor, like a vibration inside.
Right.
I don't know if you've come across that at all.
I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah.
Because I think it's unfair to ask
just
me,
like if
because
I was
I've had
lying
it
in
all.
bed if I was lying in bed or something, I suddenly, it's like the tingles have sort of gone, and now I've got this sort of a vibration, really.
But
there's nothing visible. It's just like inside me.
Yeah.
And even although I've been trying to do like relaxation and things like that, it's as if a switch has gone on, and I can't switch it off, really.
Because you're so focused on it, maybe. So the more that the more that you think about it, the more that it appears, I guess. Well, that's how anxiety works, I think. The more power and the more fear that you have over any particular sensation, the more that it seems to linger. That's what I find. So have you been checked out by the docs, stuff like that?
Yeah, I've just recently had some blood tests.
Right.
But people talk about the tingling and things like this with the vitamin B12.
Right.
But my vitamin B12 was actually through the roof.
Okay.
So I don't know, because I've been taking supplements, so I don't know. They say that a deficiency in vitamin B12 gives you tingling and things like that. Perhaps taking too much or the body absorbing too much also gives you sort of like the tingling sort of feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, it's just like a vibration. I had a look at one of the other anxiety channels, and there was a talk about that, about like a tremor that sometimes people feel when they're lying down, especially in bed and things like that. They feel as if there's a vibration through them. I mean, it's not so bad now, but I just wonder, have other people had it? That's all, really.
Let's see. We'll get somebody in the comments will answer if they've had. I've read numerous things on forums about tremors and stuff like that, so I know you're not alone. 100%.
Yeah. It's not anything visible. It's just like it's like a shake, but it's
like
inside.
an internal. Yeah.
Yeah, but I felt it like on my spine. Well, I thought it was my spine, and it was quite frightening, really, because I was like, normally I'm quite outwardly composed and logical person, but this is taking me by storm. This really. So
see, there is one person that I know could answer your question. That's my dad, because he's talked about tremors before. He's had them, but I don't know whether it's anxiety related or not. But
does he have a medical condition?
No.
No, he doesn't.
No, but he does show signs of anxiety sometimes. I've noticed.
Right.
But
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel it like initially I've looked at it. I think the worst thing as well is to look at Dr. Google, because as soon as you put that in, you see all the worst symptoms in the world, really.
I don't do that anymore.
And you just think, oh my Lord, you know.
Yeah.
And I think because I'm a mature woman now, and I think sometimes when you look at these things, it does create a panic.
It does, because you start
anyway,
thinking.
I just wanted to let people know, and because you don't really hear much about it, you know.
I know that I've read about it, but
somebody will
mention
starting at my neck. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was sort of as if the tingling was all through the body, but in different parts, and it wasn't concentrated in one area. As I say, one moment it would be in your forehead, the next minute it would be in your knee, etc. And then the strange thing is, I actually started to do deep breathing, and that was to try to relax myself.
Yeah.
And it was as if all the tingles went onto my back.
Right.
And then that was when that sort of sensation, I mean, it wasn't painful or anything. I didn't have any problems with my neck or anything like that. But speaking to you just now, I actually feel quite calm.
Oh, really?
So thank you very much.
I'm glad one of us does.
And I think you should keep doing your videos.
Oh, I will.
And I'm glad I found it.
I will. I'm glad you did too.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. I'll speak to you again. Bye-bye. So, somebody's got to help Mary out with the tremors and the internal shaking thing. I think I felt it, but I've only ever felt it really after a panic attack. Maybe, like when I'm relaxing, I would do the shakes, and then maybe you feel that internal tremor thing. Somebody else call, man, because I can't sit here twiddling my thumbs. Anybody. Just so you know, we're getting a call. That wasn't what I was going to say. Hello.
Hello, it's Gemma.
Alright, Gem. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I was telling myself that I wasn't going to call, but I get the internal tremor thing, and also I'm really anxious about calling again, so I thought I probably should do it and try and stay calmer this time.
I'm glad one of us is going to be calmer. I'm glad that you... Wait, I was just going to say, I'm glad you get the tremor. But I am, in a way. I'm glad that you get the tremor because now Mary has got confirmation that... Does anybody else get this?
I actually have it right now.
Okay.
Sometimes I think it's a sign that you're not actually, what's the word? Looking into your panic too much. It's sort of, you know, when you get the first fear and you feel that fuzziness, but then if you don't react to it, it stays at a fuzziness. It's really hard to describe it. It's basically the adrenaline, isn't it? It's like crawling under your skin or an internal vibration. I've actually had it like the last 2 days with my London trip, so yeah, definitely.
So talk me through the symptoms that you've experienced in the last 2 days.
Oh,
Trigger me.
Goodness.
Trigger me.
It's it's been literally a battle. The most common symptom I've had is teeth chattering. Okay. Literally, like just adrenaline to the point where I can't stop chattering on my teeth.
Yeah.
Just shaking all over, but visibly. I did have I've stayed at a high anxiety the whole trip, basically. Yeah. And then there was one situation today. We're on the way to the train station. We're going to be there for 12:07, and it was something like 10:02. And we were under an underpass in London there was like lorry next to me, a wall the other side, traffic in front of me, traffic behind me, and I just had this crazy thought, oh no, I feel dizzy, I feel faint, what if something happens to me here, an ambulance can't get to me, oh my god, I'm going to die. And it just came straight over me, and I had no control over it at all, and I just thought there's no escape, nothing. And I just had to just sit with it, like, I just got this rush of adrenaline, head tightening, I felt my breathing change slightly. You know how it goes. And
Keep going.
You try and correct your breathing.
Yeah, when you become conscious of it, it's horrible.
Oh my god. And then you don't know when to breathe or where to breathe or how long to breathe.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god. I don't actually know how I snapped out of it, to be honest, because we didn't actually leave the traffic, because we was there for about half an hour, it seemed. Yeah. We didn't actually leave the traffic before I calmed down. Hang on. Is that the right way around?
We didn't actually leave the traffic before you
Hang on.
calmed down.
Wait, I calmed
I'm not even
down
listening. Go on, sorry.
I
Oh
calmed
my
down
God.
before we started moving again, basically.
Yeah.
I calmed down in the situation, which is what you meant to do, isn't it?
Yes.
Maybe it was fate.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
that's what
because
happened.
you don't want to escape, because then you'll think to yourself, that was why I
Yeah.
calmed down. I calmed down because we started moving. And you don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. So it was perfect.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that as I came back closer to our area where we was stuck in traffic, it was so much easier. Like, this local area feels just absolutely fine now.
That's
like,
good.
it's magic.
So it's
I mean, I am fearing the London experience again, but
yeah. But that's understandable. You've still got anxiety. But it's
yeah,
like
I
you've
feel like I'd have to
expanded
do it a few times.
you've
as well.
expanded your comfort zone because you've got more confident that you can deal with the
Yeah.
symptoms, innit?
Definitely, but you know what's really funny? It's really embarrassing, really, in a sense. I've
You shit
not
yourself.
actually gone into full panic.
Oh, sorry.
I have not shit myself. I've not gone into full panic the whole time. I say I went into a panic, but
Yes.
I kind of like halted it and brought it down. But I've had a panic attack tonight at home. So I've been
Well,
literally.
that's what Natalie was talking about though before, like after
Yeah.
when you've done something major.
Oh yeah, the exposure.
and you just
once you've done it, you get that sort of doom feeling after.
Yeah, and you just feel like you're getting a week.
See, I've been on the train for the first time in 2 years. If no one else has like obviously heard the story, and
Go on.
I can't remember what I was going to say. It's because you're like you're buffering on my screen. I need to stop watching it.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah,
It's not pretty.
I'm on the train. Yeah, rather than doing a local journey, I went straight to London, which, if anybody doesn't realise, is like 3 hours in travel. And then I've gone to an MRI scan, gone out for tea, stayed in a hotel overnight, and then done the same again in the morning to come back. It's just like crazy, like, exposure. And then I've got home, walked in the door, chilled out, and then had a panic attack.
And what happened?
Literally, forgot how to deal with a panic attack. I've dealt with it completely in London, perfectly, accepted, let it come over me. I gave in at one point and listened to some music in the tunnel, but whatever.
That's okay.
We'll give you that. My partner sat next to me tonight, and she's just like, "Come on, what have you been telling the anxiety group? What does Billy say? What does Drew say?" And I was like,
Don't listen to Billy. Fuck no, don't listen to Billy.
No, literally, I couldn't remember what to do. I was like, I was fidgeting. Like, the whole time in London, I've been sitting still, like, shaking, but sitting still. But here, tonight, I was upside down, I was, like, stripping off, I was getting hot and cold, tingling in my fingers. I mean, I can list them all, really.
Yeah.
Breathlessness, heart pounding.
Keep going. Keep listing them.
Felt like this is a weird one, actually. People call it something, don't they? Is it Alice in Wonderland syndrome or something? Where everything in the room looks different. It's just things look smaller or bigger. People say it all the time on forums.
You're just making things up now.
Google it or Wikipedia it.
No, don't Google it. Jesus Christ.
No, don't Google it. Don't Google it.
Just watch this podcast.
Migraines can cause it as well, I think, though.
Right.
But I think it's really common with anxiety. You just feel like everything in the room's changed, like your depth perception's off.
Yeah, I get it. I just don't call it that.
Oh, what do you call it?
Help, I'm freaking out. Stuff like that. No, I don't call it anything. I don't know.
Oh my god, do you get that? Oh, when I was getting my really big panic attacks, do you get that like moment where it's like a split second and all of a sudden everything feels like there's a heavy weight on your chest, or like...
Yeah. Why not?
Oh.
May as well.
Yeah, it was...
I'm not saying I do or don't get anything, because the moment that I say no, I don't get that, I'll be sitting.
You'll have it. Yeah.
So I get everything. Get everything.
Well, you should be totally okay about saying it, and no touching wood or any of that stuff, because that's bad. That's safety behaviour.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But I think, for me, I don't know about anybody else, but heart pounding is the worst one.
Yeah.
Like, when the heart's racing, like, and you can't get it to calm down, and then you try and make it calm down, but that fear of it not calming down then makes it speed up even more.
Yeah.
And you get in a bit of a cycle.
Yeah, because you can't.
That's got to be the
you
worst
just got to
one.
let it be. Just let it be.
Yeah. definitely.
Jesus Christ.
But it takes so long to get to that point.
This is the
Were you just
most
singing?
stressful... No, I was not singing.
Let it be.
This is the most stressful podcast I have ever been involved in.
Why?
Ah.
Oh, because of all the symptoms.
Yeah, it's just... I'm going through all of them.
I'm going to have to post the video of my exposure on the group, by the way, because
Yeah.
I'm singing to The Greatest Showman at one point.
Is that why it's been pissing it down today?
Probably, because it was sunny in London yesterday, and I wasn't singing yesterday. But honestly, I was going
down earlier.
Down to the train platform. I was literally so scared that I didn't know what else to do, so I thought I'd try and turn it into excitement and sing, and I was just going like, "This is me," like down the train platform.
Don't do
People
it
must have
now.
thought I was crazy.
Jesus.
No, I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna get so many dislikes on this video now.
So yeah, I don't think it's a great tactic because you probably like get everyone else off around you, but
that's all right.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, let's end this on a positive. Like you've had all that, and you've had your panic attack tonight. You picked up the phone and you still called. So like, you can't be feeling that bad.
I felt stupid to ring again because I rang last week, didn't I?
That's okay. I was on it last week.
You're on it every week.
I know.
Just don't give me another one to ring on that's exciting, because I like the Simpsons one. Everyone likes the Simpsons one.
I thought you said the Simpsons. Then I was like, what? Are you watching something else?
I really want Kate to speak, but she won't speak. Literally.
No, don't put pressure on. She'll call one day.
No, I'm not.
She'll call.
She's waiting for a different one for you to do another one.
We'll do it.
You can't press people.
No.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
You know the other one that I was just about to say, that feeling. I wondered if anybody else gets it. If anyone wants to ring.
I got it.
It's like when you feel like your muscles need to tense up, like like a restless legs feeling.
I've heard of it. I've heard of restless leg syndrome.
Yeah, I don't know if that can be triggered by the panic then, because
more than likely everything else can.
When the adrenaline wears off, I feel like I need to keep like tensing or shaking off my muscles because it feels really like wired.
Makes sense.
You do get it then.
Makes sense. Probably.
Oh,
fucking hell, man.
I wish I could have been watching the stream as you're doing it, because I have to watch back like this to see what your reactions were.
That's one thing I'm not doing. Every week I watch the stream after it. I say every week, we've only done it twice.
And
but
then you
I am not watching
night,
it.
You feel knackered
I was awake. I was awake
tired.
till 5 a.m. last Friday morning. 5 a.m.
That's bad.
No, it was worth it. But I was awake till 5 a.m.
No, I am actually going to let somebody else have a go.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
But yeah, I have rattled.
Thank you for sharing. No, but the best thing was you answered Mary's question with the trembling thing.
Yeah,
so...
and I thought it was so relevant because I've been to London. How many symptoms I've had as well.
Yeah, I've got a call coming in now. So if you drop,
okay, let you go.
I'll take it. I'll see you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye, mate.
Bye.
Sorry. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Billy?
How you doing, mate?
Good. How are you?
So I think I'm slowly getting there. I think
you're fine. It's okay.
By the end of the podcast, I'll be fine. I'll switch it off and then I'll be fine. That's the way I'm seeing it.
I totally see where you're coming from. Like, you kind of just want to run, right?
Yeah.
Get away.
I think I've been through the worst of it. The worst was like after the first 10, 15 minutes. So I feel like I'm on the come down now. So
see, that's my biggest issue is when I'm having a panic attack.
What's your name anyway?
Blogwitcher, but you can call me B.
I think we're friends on PlayStation, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We've never played on PlayStation, but we are friends on PlayStation.
Yes. I think we play different games. I think that's why.
Yeah, probably. Go on, sorry, I interrupted.
No, you're fine. The biggest one for me is when I'm having that panic attack is the impending doom feeling that I feel like I do need to turn around in my car, or I need to, get out of the shower, or I need to run somewhere, but you don't know where, just somewhere, just out of the situation that you're in right now.
That's it, and it wouldn't matter where you run to, you would feel better wherever it would be to.
Correct.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it actually happened to me in the shower last night when I was just having a shower. I started having a big panic attack where I I got the numbness and tingliness in my hands. That's when I know it's really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
For
So
me.
it's another one with the tingling.
Yeah, I mean, you can't feel your hands or your feet or anything. They're just tingling so bad, and it's just like, okay, I'm trying to like wash my body, and I can't feel the soap or the loofah in my hand.
Yeah.
So my mind's saying, do I stay in here and just be a man and say F you anxiety, F you panic, I got this, I know what this is, it can't hurt me?
Yeah.
Or do I jump out and go scream for somebody? Do I call somebody?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like I just rush myself and then I get out. And then I'm just like, damn, I should have stayed in.
Yeah, but you stay with it. You don't get out instantly. You stay with it and finish the job that you need to do, yeah?
But that's my biggest problem. My mind always wins on that one. My mind always, the bad part of the mind, the bad self-talk always wins. Like, get the hell out.
Yeah.
Get the hell out and get to safety.
Mm.
So, like, the next day when I'm trying to take a shower, since it happened in the shower, like today, I'm like, oh, shit, I'm going to take a shower today.
Yeah.
Watch it happen again. So
you're bracing yourself for it to happen again.
Oh, yeah. These are my biggest things. I mean, that's what keeps me in my setbacks that I'm currently in, because I'm agoraphobic. I have panic disorder, and I mean, I have to renew my license before Christmas Day, and I'm already dreading it. It's 10 minutes away, but it feels like it's next door to you when I'm in the U.S. So I was just like, damn, what do I do? Do I bring somebody with me? And it's just like, why are you thinking like this? Constantly just.
So are you for housebound, or can you get out?
Yes, I mean, when you say like housebound, I can go around like my neighborhood in my car.
Yeah.
Like, what's sad is that I've had my car. I got it brand new in 2006.
Right.
Like, brand new, no miles, right?
Yep.
So it's 2018. It has 25,000 miles on it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. So
that's it.
You just stay local. That's pretty similar to me.
I mean, I can't even stay local anymore to this point. This setback that I'm in right now.
Right.
It's just I just stay home.
Okay.
And I harp on myself because I'm like, dude, you should be doing every minute. You should be out trying to beat this.
I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain, because that's like I can get out still. This podcast is turning into it's just about me. I apologize to everybody.
No, but it's not. It's about everybody, man.
I'm like that. Like, I do the school run. I say it every week. I only do the school run, and it's weird. Like, I can't get out of the car at the minute. Like, I want to do so much stuff. I want to get out, and I keep saying to myself, like, I'm setting myself challenges, but it's just taking that step, because I don't want to put myself in. Like, I don't want to feel like I felt at the start of this stream. But if I put myself out there, then I know I've got to go through it. But although, like, I'm still breathing now, and I've got through that already, and I know that I'll get through it, whatever it is. But it's just it's almost forcing yourself.
Exactly. It's that first step it's so hard, because you don't want to feel that feeling. You don't want to have a panic attack. So you're like, I'm not going to go do it. I'm just not going to do it. Even though it's not going to hurt you, even though even if you freak out or if you accept it, it's still going to end. You just still don't want to feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants a migraine, but when it happens, we deal with it. We walk around, we still work, we still whatever. But when it's panic attack, I tend to always, like, it stops me in my tracks. And I'm like, I can't, nope, not doing this. I run from it. So, I mean, that's symptom wise. I mean, we like we've been talking about all day today. I get them all, just like you. And, some are worse than others some days, but my biggest thing is pending doom. Like, something bad is about to happen. I'm either going to just collapse. I mean, even though I've never, whatever, but something bad is about to happen. I need to rush home. And that's when that triggers my head or whatever. And it's just like freak out mode. It's time to freak out.
Once you've had that thought, because that's just a thought, isn't it? The impending doom is a thought. So does that trigger physical stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because a lot of people say, well, the thinking causes the sensations, and then the sensation causes the thinking.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah. And it's like, who cares? Like, it's the same. One day it'll be this, the next day it'll be the other.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm currently talking to a therapist right now via online, and I feel like it's just not going anywhere because it's, I get more from these live podcasts that you do. Honestly,
that's good to hear, man.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's very hard because I am looking for help, and so I do need that a holding hand right now. I'm not ashamed to admit it. At the beginning, you kind of need someone to be with you, to hold your hand through it, to tell you it's gonna be okay. Just at the beginning. Yeah. And I talked to her about it, and she's like, "Listen, let's breathe through straws. Let's turn around in a circle for a minute and let's get dizzy. I'm like, look, I've done this. I've had this for 17 years. I'm past that. I'm past it." She's like, "Well, I don't know what to do for you then."
Brilliant. Thank you.
She's like, "Try this medication, try that medication." And I'm just like, "Oh man, I'm cool. I'm cool on that."
That's another story.
But I mean, I'm sweating right now and I'm not even anxious.
Yeah.
So don't even, but when I do get very anxious, I do sweat. Just like you said, I get really hot and I sweat profusely.
I think I'm going to put it down to the fact that I was drinking a red hot cup of tea when I first started the stream. So that's what I was thinking maybe it raised my temperature, but it made me question whether it was that or whether I was freaking out.
You put your thought onto it and you just stuck onto that and you're like, oh shit, I want to feel cool.
Genuinely, all I could think about, I've got a button that I can press on screen and it'll just go to like a please stand by screen. And I was thinking that I'm going to have to do that. I weren't close enough to be like, I'm going to do that. But all I could think about was, I'm going to do that in a minute.
I mean, yeah, I've been there before. I'm going to leave this store. I need to turn around.
By.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had that facility when we're out. Please stand by, and it just puts up a big screen around you. You just get 5 minutes. That'll do me.
I mean, see, that's another thing too. Speaking of 5 minutes, I talked to the therapist that I'm talking to, and I said, listen, if I knew these things only lasted like 3 minutes, like tops, that's it.
Yeah.
Like if it was 100% that they only last 3 minutes, like I'm cool with that. Give me the panic attack for 3 minutes, but I mean the ups and downs of them, you know how they kind of come. Like I hate it because I'll be like, okay, I made it through one, like I got it, and then all of a sudden here it comes again. I'm like, son of a bitch, what do I gotta do?
Yeah.
What do I have?
And even after the panic, you're still feeling sensations. Like we were saying before, I think it was Natalie was saying, the after effects. And then you start freaking out because you start feeling weird. And then you panic again. And then you go again. And then don't even go there.
I mean, sometimes it's like, what's worse? The high anxiety that can last so long, or just saying, screw it, just give me the panic attack so I can just get it over.
I think I said that last week, that I'd felt anxious for a week, and I would rather just have the panic attack and let's just get it out of the way. Because we all know that, like, for a brief moment after panic, when you go through it, it's like, well, it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's no feeling like it.
It is a euphoric feeling.
That's the word I was looking for.
Feeling that you've never felt before.
Yeah. I remember that feeling so well, but now I don't put myself in the position where I can reach it because I don't want to go through it to get there.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the shit to get to the euphoric feeling. That's exactly how I am too.
We're going to have to start working.
I know. And that's the scary part for me. It's just But this is our lives, man. Are we living the life to our potential? No, we're not.
Nowhere near. Well, we had a caller last week. Missy was talking about the same thing, and I said that I was going to put some kind of like plan together for myself, like because the tasks that I worked on years ago, I set 5 tasks. First one was pretty easy, so I just worked on it until I was fine with it, and then stepped up. And I said like I was going to work on something for Missy as well. So maybe it needs to be something that, I don't know, we put something together and just people can... A fear hierarchy, so I'm told it's called. Yeah.
I mean, that's how I got out of my last setback. Was
Same
I
as
actually
me.
had
Same as me.
A panic buddy. That's what we called each other.
Yeah.
Because we were both going through it, and he actually lived really close to me, and he would go on with me to drive, like on drives.
Yeah.
And I would go with him, and we would be like, okay, let's meet here, like 2 minutes away from our house, and let's meet here, let's do this. And it really, really helped. And eventually we both were like, hey, what are you doing? Like, we'd be out, we were working, we were doing everything. And then it's just, I mean, I don't talk to him anymore, unfortunately, just because of the fact that
it'd be interesting to know how he is.
He's 100% cured.
Really?
He's 100% cured. He had it for 2 months, I think. He had the agoraphobia and panic disorder for 2 months.
Okay. But it makes you then feel inferior, because like, how come everybody else can sort themselves out?
It did for a little bit, but it's just like, well, I had it for so long, so it's like so much more ingrained.
More memories.
It's just like learning a new language. I mean, if he was 2 months into it and I was 15 years into it, I would hope I would know more than him. But that's the blessing and the curse with panic. It's just, we know so much about it. We are basically doctorates to this thing, but yet we know the answer to it, but yet we just don't do it because we're afraid.
That's it.
I mean, it's that simple.
That is exactly it. You got to face the fear.
That's it. And when I told my person that's helping with me over the internet, she told me, well, I don't know if you should do that or not, because I said, listen, I'm just gonna go get my license. I mean, whether I panic or not, I'm gonna be 100% okay. And I said, right, like I'm looking for assurance. And she's like, I can tell you 99% sure you'll be okay. And I was like, why not 1%? And she's like, well, something could happen to you. And I'm like, I'm talking about panic wise. And she's like, it could still. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that part. I'm like,
get yourself a new therapist, mate.
I already, I don't even need one now. I've been through so many.
That's it. That's why I don't bother. I was thinking of self-referring last week because I was just feeling so down. But it was more a feeling of a depression last week, I would have said. Like the anxiety, I know all there is to know. I've read all the books. I've got all the audio files. It's just like, there ain't nothing you can tell me I don't already know. I just need to freaking do it.
Yeah. It's kind of like you need a coach, like somewhat of not a life coach, but just somebody that understands, that's been there, that says, what, like, hey, I'm right here. I'm not going to, be corny to you and be like, let's go tackle panic. It's going to be like, look, dude, I'm right here with you. You're going to be fine. I'm right here. And I mean, I think a lot of people can do that.
If you need an online panic buddy, mate, you got me. Anybody.
I appreciate it. And same to you too. Yeah.
Yes. If anybody ever wants to talk, in the group. It doesn't need to be, you don't need to call me when we're live. You can call me whenever. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm always
I appreciate
there.
it. And that goes to anyone in the group too. For me, it's
100%.
Because just at the beginning also, I don't care if you need that extra help, if you need that. I know, Drew, he does awesome work. I know he talks about get rid of those crutches, but at the beginning, if it's just going to get you to just that little point to where you can start then doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah, because I mean, when I got myself to a good place before, I was using some safety behaviors and that, and I gradually faded them out. So that worked for me. Obviously, I'm in a crappy place now, but I don't think it was because of that. It was because I had a setback. There was stress in my life, and it just put me back.
Yeah, I mean, my big setback came from me where I was doing so good that I was basically like, I'm going to go back to my old life before panic. And I did. I partied with my friends, and I just had a really bad hangover. I had a panic attack because we ate, a bunch of bad food at that, later on that night when we got home. We were drunk, and then I just had acid reflux from the sauce on the pizza, and I was hungover. So I'm like, I feel like I can't breathe, this and this, and I just had a super bad one. And I'm like, whatever, I got through it.
Yeah.
And then the next day I got one driving to work, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. And then the next day I got one driving home from work. I'm like, why are they coming more frequently now? I haven't had them for 5 years.
And you're back in the cycle.
What's going? Yeah, I'm back in the cycle, and then I'm not leaving the house. Then I'm calling off work. Then I'm doing the, So it's just like.
You think it's like it's almost like feeling your morale's so down because you've had to do all that hard work. That's how I felt. You've done it all before.
I feel like I've given up because I've dealt with this for so long, and I got to that point where I thought I had this 100% beaten, and then I gotta start over again. You're telling me, like, is it worth it now?
I feel like that's what's got me this time. It's like that's exactly it. The exact sentence that you just said. Is it worth it? If it's gonna come back again, but don't take my advice, anybody that's watching.
No.
I'm just being real.
Yeah,
exactly. Because that's what this is about.
Well, I mean, depression comes with this stuff because we don't want to be like that. And that's why we think these thoughts of, is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, of course it's worth it, man. Big wide world out there.
We just don't want to...
People haven't met yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely worth it. And but we say that because we're just so hard on ourselves about it. Because it's so easy. It's so easy. The blueprint's right there, but it's so easy, but it's so hard to do for some reason. Yeah. Because it's mental instead of physical. You can punch me and I can be like, oh well, my face hurts because you punched me. Yeah. But the whole panic thing, I'm walking, I'm watching TV, panic attack. Why? Where's the cause to the effect? Yeah. I was watching a funny show, nothing, I just had a panic attack. And sometimes it's because of actual reasons, but I just hate when they pop up out of nowhere for no reason too.
Them bad boys out of the blue.
I mean, I'm not trying to give too much information, but I mean, even when you have them during sex, come on, like that, and that makes you scared to have sex with your significant other.
I'm saying nothing.
Yeah, it's come on, it's happened to you before. I know it has. I know you've had anxiety. Your heart's beating fast, you're sweating, you're hot, right?
Please stand by. Please stand by.
Trigger warning? Question mark? Trigger warning? Oh, dear. But I mean, just to get them at things during times that should be great for you, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, really? Now you're gonna affect this shit?
Yeah. Back off.
Yeah. But we got this, man. Like, yeah. I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate everything Drew does. I appreciate the group and when they post, and whether it's posting they need help or posting success, it's all helpful, and this is awesome. And I wanted to call and let you know that.
I appreciate you calling. You called so many times, man. Your name was popping up. I was like, I've got to answer this.
I was trying to win the
caller.
Tickets. That's what I felt like. I felt like I win like the tickets to their concert or something.
Yes.
But definitely, great job to everybody that called, and you're doing a great job too, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling. We'll talk again. I'll catch you on PlayStation, man. Definitely.
For sure.
I'll catch you in a bit.
Have a good night.
See you later, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, dear. I don't even know how many calls we've had. Somebody asked a question ages ago in the comments. Who was the caller before Mary? That was Natalie, I think. Yeah. I think we've had 5 callers. Steph at first. Natalie. Mary. Gemma. And I can't remember the last guy's name because it's not something that I would remember. And I feel really bad for that. But he's cool. Thank you for calling. Anybody else want to call? I can't believe I'm still alive. It's 10:30 here in the UK. Half an hour to go. And I'm still fucking going. This has been rough. I feel like because we're talking about symptoms, it's only fair that I show you what they look like. So if anybody's not been able to notice that I've been freaking, but you probably have because you know what you're looking for, but like, that's what you look like when you're experiencing major symptoms. So if I didn't look any different, that's what you look like. No different. So when everybody says, you don't look any different, you don't look any different. We got a caller. Thank God for that. Hello.
Hiya, Billy. It's Mark calling.
All right, Mark. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Thanks for calling.
Well, I'm actually going to call and ask you some questions, if you don't mind, Billy.
Oh, man. Yeah, go on then. Go on then. Put me on the spot.
You're helping people, so, I'm watching you on the screen. You're looking a bit nervous there. So I thought I'd give you a call to say you're doing really good, mate.
I'm not feeling too bad. Yeah, compared to what it was when, after 20 minutes, that was horrible. Horrible. You pretty much witnessed me having a mini panic attack, pretty much.
Yeah. I think it was when Gemma said something before. Actually, I was nothing against it, obviously, but I seen your face go a little bit. So yeah, I can tell. But like obviously, I know it's all about symptoms, but I actually want to ask you a question, if it's okay.
Yeah, go on, man.
It's nothing bad.
Go on, man.
Well, obviously you're living alone now.
Yes.
And obviously after your...
I've got my daughter. I've got my daughter here. She's upstairs.
Well, after your breakup, how did you handle, obviously, the situation you were in? I'm assuming your wife did a lot of your shopping and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you handle all that now?
I do it online, mate.
Do it online?
You want honesty? I don't sugarcoat. I don't sugarcoat. I do my shopping online. My dad does some of my shopping for me. If it's like, if I need an essential, then I can go to a shop, but I won't go to a supermarket. Not at the moment.
Yeah, I'm saying. My dad goes there to the Aldi for me. He'll go Asda for me, and
you sure that's not my dad? Have we got the same dad?
Could be.
Yeah.
Maybe. Sound like two cool dudes, like. Like my dad literally will just pick stuff up for me. I'll give him a list every week, and he'll go and pick up the things that I need. And like yourself, you just mentioned then, like where I lived is like in the mini town. We got a place called the Old Town, and you can get like savers and things like that. So I pick up the toiletry type stuff and vitamins and deodorant and all some stuff. But food, if I couldn't go after
vitamins for the American viewers.
Vitamins. Yeah, I was thinking of that yesterday. Weirdly, when you mentioned that. But yeah, like obviously we need to get our vitamins in. All English people, British should I say. But yeah, I just thought I'd ask because obviously I've been through the same thing where I've been on my own.
When I first split from her, I was doing a lot more than they have been now. But I think it's because like my brain was so messed up from what was going on that I weren't thinking about myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm called.
Right.
I wanted to bring that up because I was the same. Like when I first broke with my ex-partner,
you could just do stuff. You felt stronger for some reason, but it weren't that you were stronger. It was because you were distracted.
Angry.
Yeah, distracted.
You were angry, you're distracted, you had something else on your mind. Because obviously at home, like what do you do to distract yourself? And obviously other than work, obviously I know that you work from home, you do.
I sing along to Shawn Mendes.
Shawn Mendes fan.
Oh, Jesus Christ. James Arthur, Ed Sheeran.
Oh,
I listen to music. I play on my PlayStation now and again. I watch so much YouTube. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I'll have to add you on the PlayStation. What do you play?
Oh man, I play Rainbow Six Siege. I play FIFA. I play COD, but I haven't got the new one yet.
Oh, we're in the same league then. We'll do the same stuff. So
sweet.
we'll be able to play. That's probably the exact same.
You'll have to message me your username on Facebook.
Yeah, I had it on Facebook.
You know, all the women that are watching this now are going,
what's this about?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've just seen, like, I'll be honest, like, I just was watching you, like, I've watched the first, obviously I rang up last week for the first time, told you my story, and obviously I know a little bit of your story, but I don't think people, like, obviously I know people probably ask you privately, but obviously I don't think people realise when you've been in a relationship like yourself for so long, and then you come out of that, and you've had to, like, you should be really proud of yourself. You've moved to your own home. You're doing your own stuff. You might have help along the way, but that doesn't make you weak.
No.
You know, I'm exactly the same. I'm exactly the same as you. My mum and dad, like mainly my dad, will do a lot of things for me. Like, for example, this week gone, I've had a rough week.
Yeah.
I went to have to go to the dentist on Tuesday. Thanks, it was God. God was really bad.
Yeah.
But I got through it, and I got back, and I haven't felt very well. But obviously, there's a lot of bugs going around. But so I just accepted that. But my attitude, like for example, like this week, like my mum helped me out and picked my son up from school and little things like that. And sometimes you need that support.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, like that was it. It's just you looked anxious, and I just thought, you know, it'd be nice to actually hear about you. For I said it obviously, and like I respect obviously other people. It's great. Like I heard what Gemma said before. It was great listening to her actually.
Yeah.
And she rolled off a lot of symptoms that I can relate to.
Yeah, it's good, man.
The gentleman, the American gent, I forgot his name himself. Sorry. Yeah. He was really. I could understand him as well. So do you know, like obviously your agoraphobia type thing, like how far are you just staying local now? Is this what you're saying? Like, are you going for walk?
This is going to sound really odd, but I could pretty much drive anywhere.
Yeah, so you feel safe in your car.
Yeah. It's stupid. Like, I've had people question, does he even suffer with agoraphobia because he can go anywhere? Like, I will drive to the tip of Scotland if you want, and I'll feel like I'll probably panic a few times on the way, but I ain't bothered. I'll do it.
You'll get there.
But if you ask me to get out of the car, that's when I'll start questioning.
Yeah, we've got a couple of people, but in here, Sammy Barlow, she's put, I play Xbox.
I noticed, yeah. Sammy's just trouble, man. Don't even go there.
See, I've got an Xbox as well. I've got an Xbox,
right.
I bought a PS4 for my son, but we share the both consoles.
Yeah, PS4 all the way.
Well, to be fair, I don't touch my Xbox. I don't really touch it, to be honest. Like
yeah, I don't blame you. They're crap.
It's been left. Well, it's been left. It's collecting dust at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But she's put Fortnite, and unfortunately, I do play Fortnite.
I play Fortnite. We can't talk about gaming on this stream. I'm resisting so bad. All I want to do is just, Fortnite. I got my first solo victory royale.
I still haven't. So you'll
I
see how we'll do duels. But yeah, now just thought I'd ask, like, obviously how you cope, because obviously you've got, like, I find it hard. I don't know about yourself, but I'll do, like, the cleaning just at home, for example.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do one room every other day, and sometimes it could take, like, 4 days just to clean my apartment.
I tend to do it all in one. I'll just blitz it for some reason. I don't know why. But I'll have to be feeling decent to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just sit.
You just sit. So I'd say you just, like, is it kind of one of those things where that's your good days, then you just get everything done.
Yeah, I tend to, yeah. Jesus, I'm being so real today.
Good days lately?
No. It's been horrendous. Since I've been doing this, a week before I started doing this, it's been really bad. This week, I'd say this last 3 or 4 days has been the best that I've felt in ages, apart from doing this today. But other than that, I felt really good the last few days. I've been just smiling, happy, enjoying.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, to be honest, I think it's exposure. I think, like, you know yourself, it's like when you go counselling and things like that, you start talking about things that you don't really want to talk about.
Yeah, anything. That's it.
You know what I mean?
It's obvious.
Like it's like anything now. To be honest, things. Anything can trigger your anxiety. Like it could be an issue with your family. Like my niece, she was getting bullied at school about a year ago.
Yeah.
And I remember picking her up from school, and you just feel this anger and frustration, and before you know it, you're having a panic attack. Luckily, thankfully, I dropped it off, and I had a bit of a panic. But I remember thinking, it's just really it's how you react to that situation. And obviously how you deal with that situation going forward, and that's why I thought I'd ask you how you've dealt with. So obviously it's not easy. I have to do it myself. I moved out of the house that we were living in, and I had to move into. I moved into an apartment, and then I had to do was then buying everything new, like obviously settling down myself, because I left everything at the house, so I had nothing really when I moved out.
I took as much as I could.
Well done. I was silly. I had my mum in one ear saying exactly what you said, and my dad in the other ear saying, "Think of your son." So I was like, "Well."
Yeah, well, I had my daughter, so I took.
Yeah, I was about to say you're
right.
in a different situation now, aren't you?
Yeah.
But there's people talking about games in the comments. It's making me laugh.
Oh man, what have you started?
PUBG,
Next week's is gaming triggers.
I just wanted, do you know what it was? I feel like, to be honest, you've done a lot for people. You and Drew, to be fair, but I've followed you for quite a while now. Like, especially obviously on YouTube, not in person, by the way. Don't be panicking.
Yeah. I thought I seen you outside the door the other day, looking through the peephole.
Give you away. Fancy game of Fortnite?
Yeah.
But I just, it's just you do a lot. So, like, to be honest, it'd be nice to hear what you've been up to, how you deal with things.
I don't.
Because you said, obviously, what you said before was interesting when you were saying that you got yourself into a good place. And then obviously you went back, but you said you've gone backwards.
Yeah.
Do you know when you what did you do to get to that good place? Because I did say about that 5
to the good place. I did. So I had like a hierarchy of different tasks that I set myself. The first one was walking to my local post box. It was probably about 300 yards down the road.
Yeah. And
I just did it every day without fail. Like, it didn't matter what time I was doing it. I didn't put that much pressure on myself. Like, I didn't say 3 o'clock you do it. I just, as long as I did it within 24 hours, walked to the post box and home. And I just kept doing it every day until I was bored of doing it. Because, like, there was just no point in I can do this. Yeah. It doesn't bother me anymore. okay, that's stage 1. And then the next one was to the shop, so I just started doing that. And it was horrible, like I was freaking out when I was getting to the shop. But I didn't stop, I just kept doing the same thing over and over.
How far was the shop? Obviously further, clearly.
It was easily double the post box, probably more. And then, I think I said last week, by the time I was comfortable doing the shop, I was more comfortable doing anything, but it was because I'd overcome the fear of those sensations I was getting while I was doing the shop journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'd get the dizziness, I'd get out of breath, I'd get the weak legs because I was walking all the way to the shop, going in the shop, so I was getting the social triggers and everything. So when I'd come to go to a different shop, I knew that I could already deal with the feelings that I was getting already. That's the way that it works.
Like with me, what I find personally, like when I go, for example, like silly things really, like you do, like obviously when you live alone, it's like I've got meters where I live, so I have to go for my gas and electric and keys and stuff, and I think, so I overcompensate, and my mum and dad will come and go, why have you like £50 in your electric? You don't need, what the hell?
So you ain't got to go again, innit?
Yeah, they, like, obviously they realise, like, they know why, but they still ask me those silly questions. But it's like a couple of weeks back, my gas just went off, and I completely forgot. Don't know how I forgot, because usually I have like a routine every Friday. I'll go, get it done, top it up, and then obviously like it'll last for like gas usually every 2 to 3 weeks. I never went, but I always find if it's to a co-op or could be a petrol station. It's waiting in the queue. It's that waiting of giving the lady the card and obviously telling her what you want and having to pay or whatever. So you got cash. It's worse if you got card. I always try and make sure I've got cash on me. So it's like quick exit.
Now you got contactless. It's beautiful.
Well, I do. Yeah. Well, 9 times out of 10 I do that, but with the bank I'm with, it doesn't show automatically in your statement. Properly.
See, the problem that we've got now is that they're making things so much quicker. Like you can go to drive-thrus, everything's more convenient. You can go to drive-thrus, you can order all your stuff off Amazon, it'll be here tomorrow. Yeah. You can pay with your contactless stuff, so you're literally in and out. But it doesn't help people like us, because we need to have to wait in queues, and we need to have to pay with cash and wait for change. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I completely understand. That's the bit that you feel like you're running at 100 miles an hour when you're doing those things, when you're out and about, for example.
Yeah.
When there's an option like you said, then you do shopping online. Obviously I know what your goal will be in time to go for at least once, maybe in that month or whenever it is you go shopping, to go, do you know what, Dad, I'll go with you instead. So my dad will say to me, do you want to come with me? And I'll go, no.
Yeah,
and
my
go,
dad.
why not? Like,
every week. Like this week, that was the first thing my dad said. Like, you're coming with me, and I'll be like, no. And then he'll say, well, you come and sit in the car park then. And then I'll just like, there's no point in me sitting in the car park because I know that I can do it.
Yeah. Well, you've got that far.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but I know what you mean.
What I need is a drive-through supermarket.
Oh God! Well, I heard Amazon meant to be doing something about that.
See, they're just making it worse. They're making it worse.
Sort of complaining to the Amazon bosses.
Everybody boycott Amazon. All 30 of you.
I've spent money on Amazon today ordering new chargers for my phone because the leads break all the time.
I thought he was going back to gaming then.
No, I'm not going to do it because I've seen the comments are still going on about it.
Yeah, click and collect. Somebody's just said click and collect. You're right, Argos. You don't even have to go look in the book anymore and then fill it in with the pencil and.
I do that for games.
Yeah.
Like speaking of games, like I do that with my son. There's been times where I've actually gone with my son and like he's so proactive in the way he is. And I'll just like if it's like I remember when FIFA come out and I said to him like I've ordered FIFA because my mum and dad used to wait till Christmas, and I thought no, he's not waiting till Christmas. When I have a kid, he's gonna get FIFA when it comes out. Like it used to annoy me when I was a kid because all my mates used to get it and I used to get it at Christmas and they'd be playing it for months.
We're talking about gaming again.
I know.
But I will beat you at FIFA. Okay, I'll challenge you.
That's fine.
We'll do a live stream. I'll beat you at FIFA. I actually worked on FIFA once. My name is on the credits of FIFA 10 or 11. I'm not sure which one, but genuinely my name is on the credits of FIFA 11.
See? It's a proud moment, that.
It's my claim to fame, other than being a bloke that panics on live streams. Don't know which one I'm more proud of.
Too much, mate. told you, you really do. That was it. I'm reading some of these. There's so many using Deliveroo in London.
Yeah, it's bad. We're all doing the same thing, man. It ain't helping us. But I tell you what we should do. We should go a month without internet. That's what we should do.
Yeah. I've to be honest, I've done things like I don't know if you've done it yourself, but I've done things like I've come off Facebook, Instagram, even WhatsApp, like everything. I've literally come off stuff for a couple of weeks, and then it does help a little bit, but it depends I think it depends what you're obsessing over, really. I think it depends if you're looking over people's lives, like perfect. You know what I mean?
I take myself off Facebook and Twitter now and again because it just I don't know.
Sometimes you click onto it. It's like, for example, like I remember there was a stage where obviously, like, you know, yourself celebrity who's passing away, unfortunately, and you obviously feel sorry for them, but everyone all of a sudden becomes a fan, and then it gets a bit. I'm not saying this, but you get irritated, and then all of a sudden it's like for example, it's been a year since my nan passed away a year ago today.
Right. Sorry, man.
And I went to Bill today to my family to put flowers on her grave and things. And I miss her like hell, but like my sisters straight away will put "miss your nan" on Facebook and whatever. But I'm just not that type of person. Yeah. Like, to be honest, my nan's not going to read that status. I don't see the benefit. Yeah. And there's a lad that actually lives around here, and he's so funny. Like he's actually suffered from panic attacks. He was agoraphobic for 2 years. He won't leave the house. Yeah. And my sister knows him, and I spoke to him. I've seen him face to face, but mainly I've spoken to him online, more so obviously with where I am, and he just has a laugh. He goes out now like you wouldn't say he's cured. He still has bad times, but he'll just go on Instagram using filters. He'll sing. He's been on Radio City singing and things like that. He pushes himself into awkward situations, and sometimes I go, wow, but I think that's what sometimes it's going to take for you to just face it, like you say, and just get on with it.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm calling you, because I was interested to know what you've done. Because what I found when I first moved in here was that, like you said, I had like where I live, it's not far from the bridge, so I used to get myself to the bridge, and then get back, because I live along the canal bit, so. That was my goal, and then I was thinking, like, do it 3 times a day, and obviously I wear a Fitbit, so I was like, right, I need to get to 10,000 steps a day, and then could that become an obsession then?
Not the 10,000 steps a day. I'm lucky if I get like a freaking 2,000. I'm lucky if I get to 2,000. But I work from home, I'm on my computer all the time, it's not good. I need to hit 10,000 steps. If this fly doesn't jog on, I'm going to go fucking insane. Sorry.
It's alright, don't worry.
I got it. I actually got it. I got the fly. There's the proof. The fly is dead.
You've done your job. You've done another job.
Stop sweating now.
Yeah, but you've done really well. I think sometimes, like I was saying, it's them little goals, but you go. I think what I found personally, when you were saying about the post box and you go into the shot, I know it becomes boring, but
that's what you want.
You've got to keep doing it, even though it becomes boring, which I found out the hard way. I stopped doing it, and I was getting to a point where I was going to watch my son play football every weekend. And,
I used to do that.
And I was fine. But then it got to a point where I remember I had a setback, and God, I feel like I've been in a setback for a year. So, I'll be honest, obviously, when my nan passed away, it really did knock me. But the one thing that, like, I remember my nan saying to me, it would be like winning the Euro Millions if you get well. So sometimes in my head I think, I've got to keep pushing myself, and there's got to be something that's got to give, and it's the same. Like when I was listening to you before, I could see you were anxious, and I think sometimes it'd be nice. I'll be honest, for me personally, to listen to other people. This is why I like what you're doing. Everyone that's rang tonight has been absolutely fantastic,
including yourself.
I wouldn't say that.
You've sparked something. I'm just going to throw this out there because I've seen that Sean mentioned it a minute ago. Thursday night's podcast, Friday night gaming tournaments. If anybody is genuinely up for doing something on it, man, I'll put my I'm going to put my PSN ID in the comments now because I don't care.
Well, mine's my son's, so I'll message you.
Mine is eWeb79. Add me on PlayStation, and we'll do something. We'll stream something. We'll maybe do it on Twitch or something, so we don't.
Sing your mate Gemma. She said she didn't like gaming before.
Tough.
Something about
Gemma's watching.
Like
Gemma can make the tea.
I can see it on the
Somebody else
messages.
just commented. Dino just commented and asked. He's got 3 kids. Oldest is 7. But what's it like from a child's point of view, growing up with a parent who suffers from anxiety? My son has offered to call in. Like, not now, not today.
Oh, fantastic.
But my son has said that he's more than willing to come on and talk about what it was like for him. So
I'd like to know that, because obviously I've got a 7-year-old little boy myself.
Well, my lad's 18 now, but he was only like 13, 14 when it first started. My son is crossy in the comments. He's moderating because he's a good lad. I'll give him a shout out. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
He's going to America.
Yeah.
He's going to America in less than 11 days. And it's the first time he's ever been abroad. I'm fine with it because I ain't going. I don't know how he feels.
My son went to Mexico a couple of weeks back. He went for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And
my son's going on his own.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get anxious. I get anxious about it for
so
some
does
reason. It's just, I think it's because it's not the flight. I'm not bothered about that. It's just obviously he's only young, but your lad's 18, so he can obviously look after himself. Where's he going in America? By the way?
He is going to Alabama.
What's he doing over there? Just going travelling or away?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I'm waiting for somebody in the comments. I'm waiting for somebody in the comments to say it's okay.
You're waiting for him, aren't you?
Yeah. No, I'm not waiting for him. I'm waiting for somebody else to say
it's
okay. I can tell.
But yeah, no, I hope he has a nice time now.
I'm sure he will.
Enjoy it. It's like once in a lifetime opportunity going anywhere, in my opinion.
Oh, I can say. He's going over to America to meet somebody that's talking in the comments right now. He's going to meet Emily, his girlfriend, and guess where they met?
For you?
PlayStation.
Oh, it seems to be
gaming brings love. It brings us all together. Scrap the podcast.
Well, to be fair, I've got a cousin now. Like we spoke on and off, now, probably once a year.
Yeah.
But he's on PlayStation, and I speak to him enough every other night.
Yeah.
Go on it. Depend. You know what I mean? I've actually made friends through that myself.
Yeah,
so
same here, man.
It is good, but yeah, my dad wouldn't agree. My dad's against gaming. He's like, no, get rid of it, throw it out the window. No.
Yeah.
You need to do something else.
No, it's good. If it's the only form of socialising you get, then do it. Anything.
But yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, I can see like the comments. But yeah,
you've took me so far off topic. What have you done?
I'm sorry. Do you know what it was? As I say, it's just I seen that you were anxious, and I just thought, you know what? I actually want to know what you've done since you've moved into your house and how you're getting on. That's it. It's not against anybody else, because I know they ask, I know they do. The group's fantastic. The Facebook group's brilliant.
Yeah, it's good, man. It is good.
So it was just that, to be honest, and I just literally wanted to see how you've coped since you've obviously been. I know your daughter lives with you, but
yeah.
I remember last week when you said that you obviously you felt quite lonely, things like that. I completely understand that. But
it was easy. It was easy for the first 2 months, but I think that was because it was all new.
Yeah.
You know, everything was just occupying me. But the last 2-3 weeks has been rough. Drew's just jumped in the comments, and Josh, my son, has just said that he can call up next week, so he's prepared to come on and tell you what it's like to live with a parent that has anxiety. So Dino, tune in.
Tell him I'd much appreciate that, definitely. Yeah, because obviously my son's growing up with that right now, so trying to you try and keep them safe as best as you can, don't you? So it's obviously
it's difficult. It's difficult. I've always been well open with it. Like, he was there when I had my first panic attack. I've done a video on it before, and he was there. I think. Did I say he was 14 when I had my first one? That means it was only 4 years ago. I'm an idiot. He was 4. He was 4 years old when it first started.
So you're not an idiot. you just still
just bitter.
Still doing it.
No, I'm
fine.
That
was it, mate. I literally just thought I'd give you a bell. I wasn't going to call, to be honest. I was just going to listen to the whole thing, and I heard you say that you were listening to the podcast on last week till 5 o'clock in the morning as well.
I weren't listening. I watched it once, but I was occupied till 5 a.m. last week.
Oh, right. So you were just awake.
Yes.
Don't be worried. Everything you're doing, obviously, people. I've seen. I remember you saying last week, people. like even myself, to be honest, you get worried about what you say, but you actually, every single one of us, it just wants to be just polite and just actually come across the best way. We're not here to upset anyone.
No, exactly. That's it. We're all in the same boat. Anybody that's not in the same boat is not watching this right now. They already legged it, unless they joined when we was talking about gaming, and they thought,
yeah, maybe. Or they've gone and bought themselves PS4 because they have an Xbox.
Yeah,
Depends.
that's it. Everybody's selling their Xboxes, but they're not buying PlayStations off Amazon, remember? See the way we linked? We brought it all together.
Right, well, what I'll do is I'll let you go.
Cheers,
but I just wanted to give you a call just to see how you was and to say thank you again. Keep doing what you're doing.
I'll be here next week.
And I'll message you, and I'll message you privately on Facebook, make you log in, and I'll tell you what, I'll just add you.
Yeah, add me, man. eWeb79. eWeb79.
Joshua, so.
So's mine.
Yeah, I found the comments.
That's my son's name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So this is weird. Our dad does our shopping. He goes to Asda and Aldi for us. And we've both got a kid called frickin' Josh. Stop copying me.
Can't help it, mate. I think probably from the past, aren't I?
You've been watching too many of my videos. That's what you need to take a break. Put the PlayStation on.
Get a life, man. Get a life.
Anyway,
you've done really well.
Thank you.
I appreciate this.
Sound.
Thank you so much,
Speak
mate.
to you in a bit.
Good evening.
Andrew, mate, I'll speak to you again. Ta-ra, mate.
Bye.
Cool. Too cool for school. Sorry, I'm going to read a few comments. It's mad. I'm going to tell you now, like, it is mad. The journey that I have been on during this podcast, I don't know if anybody's been here. I know there's a couple of people that have been here from the start. But I have been on such a freaking journey during this podcast. It has been insane. Let me read a comment or two with my spectacles on. It would be great to hear from a kids or young adults' point of view. Yeah, definitely, Penny. We're going to do that. I'm going to get Josh on next week. 100%. The spiritual connection through Aldi, the king of German supermarket products. Abuisa is still here. Sammy is still here. Gemma's still here. Crossy's still here. Who else is still here? Claire's still here. Who else is still here? Who's been here since the start? Do you realise how cold this tea is now? Oh, that is rough. Dino's still here. Add me on PlayStation, mate. Did you have PlayStation? Don't think you did. I don't remember. No, it was you that asked about getting a youngster on. Steph Palmer's still here. Thank you, Steph. Someone else is still here. So I will say this. I'll give him some credit because I've already praised him enough. My old man's still here. He's watching. He's just commented. The guy that does the shopping for me now and again. Because he would rather I didn't do it online because I always spend a fortune. Sean has to leave. But thanks for watching, mate. You've been here every time so far, I think. I really appreciate you sticking around. Add me on PlayStation. I'm sure it was you that said PlayStation. Maybe. Somebody said it. Oh, God. Please don't converse with my father. I'm going to end the live stream. It's actually 11:01, so we've hit the 2 hours. As I was saying, what a freaking journey. I really want to watch it back because I need to see. I know that I was fidgeting so bad and I was sweating and it was horrible, and I want to watch it so I can see how different I looked. I didn't fall asleep. Yes, Gemma, I made it. I will put this out there. I will give it like, if somebody wants to call in late night with Billy Cross, you're damn right, Drew. You're damn right. If somebody wants to call in and just share a few symptoms, I will. Because I'm cool with that. Deborah's still here. Thank you. Deborah, you've watched every week as well. Bye, Steph. Thank you for sticking around. Cool to speak to you as always. I do like reading the comments. You want to listen back. Sean's shared. Oh, he's Xbox. Sean's on Xbox. So I was informed the other day. I was informed that you can now play Fortnite cross console. I don't know. There's another fly. Unbelievable. I just looked uptight and rigid. I've calmed down and seen it through, and that is like, you can watch this podcast on mute and just watch what happens if you don't switch to please stand by. Don't avoid, don't try and escape, just sit with it. You'll get through it. What a freaking awesome podcast. What a freaking awesome podcast. For me personally, like, I don't know what's been said by anybody. I have no idea. Because I weren't paying much attention, and it sounds horrible. But I only speak the truth. If anybody wants to call, quickly. People are saying Drew should call. People are saying Drew should call. Drew might be busy. Come on, Drew. I will just say this. I've got a few people, a few celebs, and a few, like, authors of books that have offered to come on. Yes, Tina. This was great, and I didn't avoid. Thank you. Drew's gonna call. Ghostbusters! Now call me. Drew's gonna call. What was I saying? I was so distracted then. Drew is calling. Drew.
What did I miss?
Save
I missed
me.
all the good stuff, didn't I?
Mate. I've got to stop calling you mate. Because it doesn't...
Call me anything you want.
Yeah, but you're American.
We can be mates.
Oh, God. Don't you start. Okay, so... I think I may have had a panic attack at the start of the stream.
Okay.
I think.
How'd that go?
I mean, it must have been close. Oh, it was rough. It was really rough. I'm constantly eating mints.
Well, well, your breath is minty fresh then.
Minty
That's the bonus.
fresh. Minty fresh.
Anxiety has its benefits.
You know that. It was so rough, mate. It was so rough. I don't know. I had a few flashing thoughts. It was like, I can't do this. Because I was saying at the start, if you haven't seen it, you didn't see the start, so I was saying...
No, I came in late. I've only been about 5 minutes.
I was saying at the start that I've not felt anywhere near as anxious today about it. Hey,
Okay.
What was that? You're turning the TV up in the background.
Oh, did you do that? I just tuned into the stream so I could actually see the comments while I'm Skyping.
So I said, as soon as I started, I said I haven't felt dodgy this week. It hasn't been. I've had no anxiety about doing this at all. Maybe I've been preoccupied, but I haven't felt dodgy. Until about an hour before I went live, I was feeling a little bit nervous. But I just put that down to well, that's a success. In my opinion, that was major success. An hour of stress instead of a week.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I went live, I just started thinking. And I think I was thinking because I'd said that. I've said I've had no anxiety about it. And then all of a sudden it just started... I'm going to have it then. I must be due. Maybe that was it. And then it did. And then I was sweating bad. I was feeling completely out of it for a minute. Like disorientated. Couldn't focus. I was fidgeting. It was horrible. I was thinking about my breathing.
While you were on the air?
Yep. For probably about 20, 25 minutes, maybe. Because Natalie called earlier. Remember Natalie from Panic Station days?
Natalie lives like a half hour from me.
Yes, exactly. She called in. I haven't spoke to her since Panic Station days.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But while she was talking, I was really feeling it bad.
Yeah. I think it's tougher to deal with too while you're trying to do what you were doing.
Yeah, maybe.
So I could say that's probably why it went on for 20, 25 minutes as opposed to even shorter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I just kept thinking about it. I couldn't stop thinking because I couldn't even look away, could I? Usually I'd just stand up or kick back in the chair, but I've got to sit closer because you can't fucking hear me if I don't sit close to the mic. So there was no escape.
Just kind of turn off your brain.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I don't know if you know.
I remember having one
Go on, sorry. Oh, I was going to say, I don't know if you know, but I've got a button on my keyboard that I can press and it'll pull up a please stand by screen. for if I've got it prepared, like for if I freak out. And I was
no kidding.
I was close.
Yeah, but you didn't use it.
No. I was determined not
That's
to.
awesome. So, and the benefit is, like, people that were watching got to see that.
Yeah. And
Which is impressive as hell.
completely open with it as well. I was actually saying, I'm losing it.
I'll definitely have to watch it back. But I think that's one of the most valuable things that you have added is being so open about this from the first time I met you. And that is, I think, extremely valuable for people that follow along.
Appreciate it. I don't know why. I just because it's there.
It sounds like you did great.
We got through it, mate. We got through it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And by the time I got here, you were talking about gaming, so I was out of my element.
Is that why you've called in? You want to? What's your favourite game, Drew?
I did.
Pac-Man. Is that what it is? You still?
It's Pac-Man. Yes, Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Who else has an Atari 2600?
Yeah.
So
I did.
But no, you did great. You did great. I'll watch it back. But I have no doubt that
we were supposed to be talking about symptoms and that, but we veered off. I think everybody was getting triggered by the symptoms. I think I was.
Oh, really?
But that's what I wanted. Yeah, I wanted that. That was the point.
Did a lot of people call in and talk about symptoms or not?
We've only had about maybe seven calls. Yeah. I don't know, to be honest. But new people. It's been cool to have new people call in because I'm thinking that we're going to run out of people because I don't get that many viewers on the stream at all.
Yeah.
But I noticed that a few more watched episode 2 than they did 1, so hopefully this one will get a few more maybe, and it just grows.
That's awesome. I love that Nat called in.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think I talked to her not that long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, within the last year, that is. But so that's awesome. Yeah, she lives close to me. One day we'll actually get together again.
Gemma just said that she's got the number on speed dial now.
That's it. Let's just do like giveaways.
Yeah,
third caller
That's
wins something.
Third caller wins. Yeah, these. My daughter pulled these out of her school bag the other day. Look at them bad boys. Oh, you won't see them yet, but you'll see them in a sec. Look at them sunglasses.
Oh, come on.
They are hot.
Third caller wins those.
Yeah, third caller gets these, as long as you're not in the US, because I'm not paying the shipping charges.
Those get you arrested in the US. Those are badass.
Yes. Let's do this.
Well, you did great. I'm going to watch it back and see how it went.
I'm not going to watch it back today.
Nah, you got to go to bed.
I've got to get
be
to
up
sleep.
all night watching
School run.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So, what else can I help you with? Anything in particular? What do we want to talk about? Anything else? Or you're gonna kill it now?
Well, I mean, symptoms. What's your opinion on symptoms? Like, I know what it is, but let's end with a positive on physical symptoms. Like, what do people need to do? I just pulled my headset out.
I hate when that happens. You're very graceful on camera, though. That's good.
Yeah. I never swear nothing.
No, never.
So what can people do to stop focusing on the symptoms? Like, we've heard what they all are. We know, like, the reason for this podcast was, does anybody else get this? So we've answered yes, everybody else gets these. So what can we do to stop freaking focusing on them? You're the man. The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. How would I tell people to stop focusing? I think the best way that I could think of to tell people like how to stop focusing on symptoms is the word I've been using lately is surrender, and I think I would keep using that. That seems to be accurate. Like and people seem to be able to grasp that a bit more. So when your heart is racing or your legs are shaking or you're sweating or whatever your symptom of the day is, you have to just surrender to it, like let it kill you or do whatever it's going to do to you, because it won't. And there's no technique for like ignoring the symptoms or not being afraid of it. The technique is to just surrender to it. And you have to have the same experience that you just had with panic on the show tonight. Like, you faced it, you didn't do anything, you didn't run, you didn't try and save yourself from it, you didn't focus on it, and it went away, and you're fine now. So I think the best advice I could keep giving people is just surrender to whatever it is, because nothing that you have been doing in response to those symptoms is doing anything. It's not saving you from anything. You're not saving yourself from a damn thing.
Yeah, the proof, I mean, the fact that I didn't get up, I didn't flick a rubber band. I mean, we've had me and you have had this conversation a million times, but maybe other people don't know it, but I didn't splash water on my face. I didn't need to do. I mean, I had a drink out of a bottle of water, but that's...
Right.
You can give me
Yeah, well,
that.
you also have to...
I've got to stay hydrated. I'm losing fucking gallons in sweat.
Life, man.
Yeah,
exactly. And then your mouth goes all dry and you're trying to talk on camera. So, no, we get that. But I think the key to remember is that nothing that you have ever done in response to feeling badly has saved you from anything. It's done nothing, literally nothing, except make it worse. So
exactly.
That's what you got to do. Just let it do its very worst, and then your brain will learn, like, oh, that's the worst it could do. Like, I don't have to be afraid of this next time. And it'll happen again, and you'll be a little less afraid, and a little less afraid, a little less afraid, and it'll stop happening.
That's it. That's perfect.
There you go.
Summed it
That's
up
my contribution.
by the man. I think we should do this regular. You should come on at the end and just like give your take. But me and you were talking about doing some podcasts again, weren't we?
We should. We should probably do something
people
like
will be
this.
pleased about.
People will be pleased. We're very exciting together.
We nail it every time, mate.
That makes me nervous, says Gemma, that nothing has ever saved us.
Yeah, but it hasn't. It hasn't.
It hasn't. Nothing, Gemma, nothing you've ever done has saved you from anything, because obviously nothing has happened.
Well, this is, like the last two podcasts, I had a panic attack on the Saturday before the last one, and I said that I just stood in the middle of the room and did nothing. And I've had one on frickin' screen today, and I just sat here and did nothing. What more proof do we need, guys?
That's true. And actually, that's true. Gemma did sing. She sent me the video.
Oh God.
The singing was awesome. It just didn't save you from anything.
Right.
But you keep singing. It's a good plan.
Yeah.
So,
I don't want to see that.
She was good. I saw it. She sent me the video. It was good.
Right.
It was solid.
Cool.
It was solid. So anyway, all right, dude. I'm gonna let you get rolling then.
Yeah,
and
man.
Yeah, we'll put our heads together. We'll come up with something.
We certainly will. Thank you for calling, dude.
Anytime, man. See you later.
I'll talk to you again. See you in a bit.
Yeah.
Bye. Oh dear. That's it. We're over time. The podcasts are getting longer each week. I'm just going to read the last few comments. There's not many people left. Oh, there is. Still, we're averaging. Has anybody got anything to say before we go? Don't call. Just put it in the comments. Me and Drew are better than them so-called magic methods. Think you know who I mean? I know exactly who you mean. Dino, I know exactly. Missy, I mentioned you earlier. You'll have to watch it back. I mentioned you earlier. I haven't forgotten about you. And the plan. The fear hierarchy. We're going to work on something for you. Definitely. Thank you, Olivia. I can't believe there's another flight. I don't know where they're coming from. I killed it. Gemma's nervous now. Sammy's off. Why does panic about panic happen? I don't know. Yeah, Missy do. Andrew missed the show. He's been out tackling his fears, no doubt. Yeah, watch it, Andrew. Watch it. I won't say anything, but watch it. It's been interesting. It's been a journey, man. We've been on a journey tonight. I have. I think everybody else has. I'm going to call it a day. And get some rest. I think I have freaking earned it. But thank you for watching, man. Thank you for all the comments. Yes, Deborah, me and Drew are getting back in to podcasting. We're going to relaunch the 101 series, but it won't be on a Thursday. Because I'm going to keep doing this. Next week, we'll see what happens. If anybody's got any suggestions for topics for this, like if there's anything specific that people would like me to cover or like to ask people to call in on, then just leave it in the comments. Leave it in there now, and I'll leave the stream running for a bit with the pathetic music that goes on in the background, yeah? Just leave your comments and I'll have a look back. But not tonight, because I ain't watching it back. That's it. Third podcast. I've got to read this comment. Yeah, I need to figure something out, man. It would be good to have... I think I was saying earlier, was I saying earlier? Look at me extending this. I think I was saying earlier, like, about getting celebrities and, like, authors of books and professionals on. Like, I've got a few people lined up to do it, but I don't feel confident enough to sit here, me be on screen talking to somebody famous, because I think, like, if I'm freaking out talking to people that, like, I'm aware of, I already know some of you, I think having a celeb on there would really rock the boat, and I don't think I'm quite ready for it yet. But I have got people lined up, so I may pre-record some stuff and put them on separately, maybe, and do them like side-by-side video. I think we'll keep this to just people calling in random, because it's scary. It is quite scary. But that's it. If anybody's got any suggestions for a topic on here, leave them in the comments. If you've managed to stick with this for 2 hours, 18 minutes, well freaking done. Remember, next week we're giving away the real savage sunglasses. I'm going now, because I have had enough. Thank you for watching, man. I can't believe I didn't use the please stand by. I'm actually quite pleased with myself. I'm going to get out tomorrow. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something positive. I'm going to do an exposure therapy video, right? This is particularly for Missy. I'm going to do an exposure therapy video, and I'm going to break down the stages to doing a task. I've spoke about it with my dad. I don't know why, because I'm going to do it. But I remember I was telling him the other day that I'm going to do this. I'm going to break it down into small segments and do a full exposure, put it all onto a video for you, so you can see how I would tackle something. What are these situations? Why did I just say the word situations? Maybe panic situations, different fears, topic suggestion. Give me a topic suggestion. It's all gone quiet over there. Traffic, supermarkets, public transport, social situations. Gemma, that's what me and Drew are going to do. That's what me and Drew have already discussed. We're going to do different situations. So that's what you was on about. Yeah, we're going to break down different situations. We already discussed it. That's the topic that we were going to go for. So particular things like going out for dinner, restaurants, public transport, like you say, supermarkets. That's what we're going to try and do, is break things down for people. And maybe I can be the guinea pig, because I'm pretty fucking good at that. I had to swear, man. I think I've earned it. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Go back and watch it from the start if you haven't seen it all. Skip the gaming bit. Thanks for watching. You can still comment in the thing, because I'm going to leave the music thing playing for like a couple of minutes. So if anybody's got any more suggestions, if anybody wants to say thank you, Billy, you're an absolute legend. We appreciate everything you ever do, and you are a wonderful human being. Just agree. I'm joking. I'm just me. I'm just normal, man. Without you, this would be literally me sitting here talking to my own computer, so respect. Respect. I'm done. Quick, go. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next week. Take it easy.